All right, we should be going. If someone could check the YouTube. Looks like we're live, though.
On gallery.
Yes, we're live.
To its max.
On gallery.
Relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zoom in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in the fun, engaging way.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the kitchen. Well, I think we know why it's been so quiet in Zoomland. They've been cooking up Monday's release and a couple of other things that are going on. It's been quiet, but we have what to talk about this week. So it's good to see everyone. Let me say quick round of hellos. Not too long. We want to jump into it. Mike, how you doing, sir?
Doing good, David. I can't wait to see what the dogs brought for you.
Yeah,
this week.
so I did that. Wait, I did the dog fooding because I thought, oh, that's so cute, well, dog food. But then they actually released stuff. So now forget the dog food. We're just going to play with the new stuff. Ronnie, how you doing, sir?
Just fine. We're today or tomorrow, we're finally getting the sun above the horizon all day long. So there will only be sun. And that is what we are waiting for the whole winter, the midnight sun in the midnight sun land. And that is really a joy.
Wow, that's lovely. Oh my goodness. Fantastic. I'm so glad to see you, Ronnie. Peter, how you doing?
Doing great.
Fantastic. Anything going on by you?
Well, we had our first 100-degree Fahrenheit day this week.
That's hot. That is hot. I'm not looking forward to that down here in Florida because not only is it hot, it's freaking miserable. It's awful. Awful.
Can we talk about humidity? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about Florida, just Florida in general. Speaking of Florida, wait, where's my friend Ray? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. There's people don't understand there's 5 Floridas. You're in the best part of Florida, in my opinion, in Southeast. But here in Central Florida, it's South Georgia.
South Georgia. I like South Georgia, actually, so I'm not complaining about that. Tony Mobley, how you doing, sir?
I am fine, sir. We got 90 degrees today here in Metro Atlanta.
That's why you just need to stay inside on Zoom in the air conditioning all the time. Zoom fixes everything. John Drinkwater. Hello, Mr. Lord Zoom.
Howdy. I think
Good to
that's
see
what
you,
you
sir.
say down there, isn't it?
Howdy. No, that is not what we say down here. Thank you very much. Howdy. Oh my gosh. That's what Hasmick says over there. He says howdy.
That's not what I say. Since you got a few South Africans there in the USA, you will learn very quickly what they say.
Yes. My wife and I were introduced by a South African, so I love it. I love it.
Right. So I relocated from the summer room to the winter room, which happens to be in the summer room because the summer room has a fireplace.
Okay.
Okay.
Robert, could you make heads or tails of that?
Yeah, the world's upside down at the moment. Has everything the other way around. But we're like the song said, we all live on Zoom every week. So we're living in Zoom at the moment.
Absolutely. Good to see you, Robert.
And
Mr. Frank, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Thank God. I'm doing really well.
That's good.
Guess what I found? I didn't find it. Andy Lehman found it, and then he told me about it. Guess what I found in my iPhone app, my Zoom app? I got a 5th button at the top that says record. I'm very excited. I was very excited. Not quite as excited anymore because I actually tried it. So the way this works is you literally just press record and it starts. That there's nothing else to it. So it is now recording the meeting. Now, I actually was really looking forward to showing you an actual meeting that I recorded with multiple people in it. But one of the things that I've learned since doing this, how do I get out of this? Hold on, done. Is that I can't get to it. Like because it was 2 days ago, the meeting was on, or actually it was yesterday. The meeting was on Thursday. I can't get to it because it doesn't go back, and it doesn't go back anymore. It's only today. So on my phone, that meeting is gone. Now it's not gone. I can show it to you on the back end, but it was a little frustrating to me. And the reason why it's a little frustrating to me is that currently the only way to edit who's speaking is on the phone. So what I did is I did another meeting earlier today. So here it is, David Paskin's voice recording. So and it's going to come up with the meeting summary. No, now how do I do it?
David, you talk about me and I show up.
Oh, Andy's here. Thank God. Okay, good. So listen, so this is so convoluted right now. So for a day, you have access to your recordings on your phone. You go and you get your meeting summary, and then to actually change the names of who's speaking, you have to click on full transcript. Then you can say this is, I don't know why I'm not showing up at the top. That's really frustrating. It never puts me at the top. I can choose me and then add name. And then I can choose, I spoke in a woman's voice, so for speaker too. So I'll say presentation, that's presentation coach Ray. And so now I've updated the names of who spoke in my transcript. Fantastic. It doesn't change anything in the AI summary. It has no effect on the AI summary. So let me bring you over here to this is the actual meeting. I'm now on my back end. This is the actual meeting. And to get here, and again, it's not a great implementation if you ask me. It's not very user-friendly. I've got recordings and transcripts. So here's the one that I just did today. And here's the meeting from earlier this week. If I click on this, I can get, there's nowhere to actually, I guess if I click there, that'll bring me into, no, see, that downloads it. I don't want to do that. I want to click in so I can get to this page. This is what I wanted to get to, right? So here's the transcript. And when you click on the edit button here, it lets you actually edit the text, not who spoke. So there's no who said what here. Here are the next steps. It does a good job, I think, with these chapters. But just getting to this page seems a little convoluted to me. It wasn't clear to me what to click on. But then if I want the summary, I have to click here. So there's no one unified place to get all this stuff. And here's my voice recording, which I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. And you can see I went in to the transcript and I changed the names. I put the correct names in. I don't know who Michelle is. There was no Michelle in our meeting. There was no woman in our meeting. So the team discussed. There were two of us. I don't know. It just and this is the worst part. And then Andy, I promise I'll stop complaining. The worst part is that I can't edit this. There's literally nothing that I can do with this that I can find, at least.
Good.
What do you think?
Good. You shouldn't be able to edit it. Frank will get annoyed about security and vulnerabilities if you start editing it. You can't edit it, my friend.
You're right.
One of the things you can
wrong
do.
Information.
Well, that's fine, but
sense. What do you mean? It's my summary.
I mean, here's my take on it. I think that it's going to get better. I think that they had full intentions on making it so you could edit the names before the transcript or before the summary got generated. And I think that they had to rush it out, or they were working on other things and they put it out because people like you and I were complaining that it wasn't out. So they put it out.
It's our fault, Andy.
It'll get better. I think it'll get better. I really do.
No, of course it will. Of course. And you're right. We were, here I was for weeks nagging that this stupid thing wasn't out. And now that it's out, I'm bitching and moaning about it. Sorry, I'm complaining about it. No, you're right. But again, it's just these little things, and one of the little things for me, at least, is actually not in that functionality, but it's in the navigation over here. Like the fact that recordings and transcripts, I cannot get to, sorry, I'm just looking for it. Here it is. David and Alan meeting. Now, I didn't see this before. Did this just pop up or was I just not paying attention? Transcript, smart recording. I should be able to get from somewhere on here into the summary. And I can't. Even if I go in.
Well, it treats it like a meeting. That's what it is in the back end. It's just a meeting, right? It just doesn't have video attached to it.
My name is David. Right.
So,
but here I've got the transcript. Here I've got the next steps, which, by the way, come from the summary. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not sure what to make of it yet. Until we have some control over the meeting summary, it's useless to me. It's just completely useless. because I can't share this with, well, it's not true. I could copy it, put it in Google Docs, and then edit it, but that really seems like me just doing the work.
Question, David?
Hi, who said question? Hi,
Lois
Lois.
said question.
Hi, Lois.
Hi. So can you get just the audio file and extract it? Because if you can put it in Whisper or Mac Whisper or whatever and get a transcript of everything that got said.
No, so the transcript is fine. So the just again it does a transcript, and you can then go in and you can edit the names of who's speaking. And if you do that, it will automatically tag the right people. I think I didn't look extensively at that. And you can make changes to the actual transcript. So the transcript is fine. It's
And
the summary.
doesn't it summarize from a transcript if you want it to?
No, that's my point. Is that as of right now, with this new thing, the voice recorder, somehow the summary seems to come before the transcript, which I know it doesn't. But
I was trying to get a workaround to get from your audio file or your transcript and get something else to summarize it. But
oh, sure. I mean, no. What I would do is I would take the transcript and throw it into ChatGPT. I mean, and then say, give me a summary with next steps. You could absolutely do that. Again, I think what Zoom is trying to do here, and they will get it done, I have no doubt about that, is not have us have to do that. So the moral of the story is, David, stop complaining and pushing Zoom to rush things out. I will say, by the way, I don't know if any of you noticed this, but I happened to go to the Zoom homepage today. Oh, wait a second. Sign in. There. It's a pretty, look at this pretty new home. I didn't see when they updated it, but this is kind of nice. It's got the blocks, different divisions here with a little shadow going on. Got these nice icons. This is brand new to me. Here are the meeting summaries. I don't know what the heck they're doing with this big black blob over here on the right, but other than that, it's a really nice little layout here. The only thing I'll say is that it's not as nice when it's not. I mean, it's definitely responsive. It's just not as, I don't know. I would have done the responsiveness a little differently, but it's a nice new look. Hey, Lois.
so you were showing us the 5th button on your iPhone.
Yes.
And I have a bunch of questions about that. Is the recording that you made, does it have to have permission from the host, or can you simply record it because you're on an iPhone?
Yeah. So, great question. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up. This is not in a meeting. This is not in a Zoom meeting. The whole point of this, sorry, I'm just waiting for my phone to connect to the Apple TV. The whole point of this 5th app is that you just, you're in a physical meeting with another person. You open your Zoom app and you hit record in a physical meeting. It then listens to your meeting and then it transcribes it just like it would a Zoom meeting. It creates an AI summary just like it would a Zoom meeting. But in this case, there's no permissions because unless the person sitting across the table from you says, put your phone away or turn it off.
So then that's on your iPhone. I'm sitting in front of my Mac. Can I do that same thing from the Zoom app on my Mac?
No.
Only iPhone, no
Yeah,
iPads, no nothing.
Oh, I don't know about, actually, let me check the iPad. I don't know about iPad. It's a mobile feature, as I understand it. Let me open up my what's it here. Is this gonna work? Hold on. Yeah, there we go. All right, sign in. Oh God, hold on. I have to sign in here. Sorry, it's gonna make me do a whole thing. And come over here. And I'm pretty sure it's just a mobile experience. Okay. Yeah, for sure you can have access.
It's not there.
Yeah. I wonder if it did not come with an update, but I never use this on my iPad, so I wonder if there's an update that is waiting. Let me just check that. Oops. Update all. Let's see. I never use apps on my iPad. No, I don't see a Zoom update there. Well, that's interesting. Maybe it's just an iPhone app. Let me try one other thing. Sometimes when you turn, nope, looks like it's just mobile phone. I wonder if it's
on the Android as well.
I was just going to ask. All right, so it's a mobile phone thing then. Interesting. I do wish, by the way, I do wish it was on the computer. That for me would be really nice. So, in any case,
David, do you mind telling us how you were able to share with the Apple TV?
oh, my phone?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I just have an Apple TV plugged into a video capture card as an input, as a video source on my computer, and then I just AirPlay from my phone to the Apple TV. So it's a little slow and clunky. Like it takes a few seconds to connect, but I don't need any wires or anything. And it's just always there, kind of waiting for me.
And
So,
it does not have anything to do with Ecamm.
well, I mean, this is an Ecamm scene that I'm in right now. So I do everything with scenes, but I have, so I have two different scenes set up. I've got this, the vertical, and then I've got a horizontal scene set up so that when I change from vertical to horizontal, you can see, but that's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
So another question is, I've got an iPhone, I've got a Zoom app. I'm not showing a fifth button. I'm wondering if it has to do with your account. This one is a free account.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. It's a really good question.
Does it have you
Yes.
gotten instructions on how to use this thing? I mean, did Zoom roll it out with all the usual stuff?
I haven't seen anything, but someone did post. Frank, it may have been you. Someone posted, or maybe it was Ray. I'm sorry. That you have to have both transcript and companion turned on by default, I think, in order for this to show up, because it relies on those tools. And so if you don't have those turned on, or at least available for every meeting, it won't show up. So maybe that could be it. I'm not sure.
Well, the other thing is, don't those require storage? And does the free account have storage on the back end?
Well, all accounts have some storage, don't they? Let's see. Plans and pricing.
No, I think the free ones can only do local recordings. They can't do cloud recording.
Right. And so you need to have cloud recording.
Ah. So free. Yeah, look at that. There you go. Local recording. Good catch. Peter and Andy. That's probably what it is. Although you do have whiteboards. I mean, you do have some storage because you've got whiteboards that you can save.
But that's a whole lot less storage for them to worry
Oh,
about.
no, of course. And you've got clips that you can save. So it's not that you don't have storage, but you do have automated meeting captions. Virtual background per meeting ID.
What is this feature actually called? What's it titled?
I think it's called voice. Wait a second. What is that? Look at my screen. Hold on. What just happened? Look at my screen now. Why do I now have 3 buttons up there? I'm so confused. Wait a second. What? Maybe because I'm in a recording, I have to, if I click done, what happens? Sorry, this, look at, that was weird. So my menu bar at the top changes. So if I'm recording and I go out of that recording, then I only get 3 buttons. I get schedule, share, and record. And share and record, I can't do anything with. Schedule, I can do. So
It
why?
makes sense that you can't join a different meeting if you're recording.
Well, no, of course, but like, why is the share button still there? Why is the record button still there? I'm clicking on them and nothing's happening. So now if I come out of, whoops, if I stop this and recording, right. Okay, so meet, yeah, so the meet and the join buttons disappear. You're absolutely right. That makes perfect sense. I don't know why the share and the record buttons are still visible, since you can't do anything with them. I just hadn't seen that before. So yeah, it's called, actually in here it's called record. I thought it was called voice recorder, but it looks like it's just called record. So.
You know, on your Mac, on your phone, you already have voice recording.
Yes, but that voice recording
records everything that the phone hears.
But it's not integrated with Zoom, and it
That's
doesn't,
right.
as of yet, although you could take those voice recordings, I think, into Apple Notes, and I think it could do like some of the summary stuff, I believe. I never use it, so maybe not, but I think it can. But that Zoom is counting on the fact that this will all be done for you. Frank, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hi there. I didn't have the 5th button on my iPhone until I went into my account and activated voice recorder with AI companion in my settings. Then it showed up immediately on my phone.
Oh, that's a new setting. Hold on a second. I didn't see that. The heck is it? Web app. Home. No, I don't want the web app. What am I doing?
Here, I'll stop sharing.
Zoom.us. All right. My account. So settings. And I'll look for record. Automatic recording, cloud recording, smart recording with AI companion. Oh, there it is. So this is new. This is what I was actually searching for a couple weeks. Voice recorder with AI companion transcribes and generates a summary of your conversation. That's interesting that it was on by default for me. I just woke up one morning when Andy posted and said to David, it was just on by default. I don't know why. That's interesting. Yeah, Robert.
David, can you just describe the use case that's making you so passionate about this functionality?
Absolutely. Yeah, a board meeting. So we're in a board meeting, and you have to have minutes from a board meeting, and you want to have a good record of who said what and what ideas came out and what are the next steps and all that stuff. And right now we have a person doing that, and it's not terribly reliable. The notes are not always great. If Zoom can do what it does for meetings in a compelling and powerful way, then yeah, I'm all in with that. That's my use case.
Okay, I got you. Thanks.
Yeah. Tony, go for it.
You have to have a paid account.
You have to have a paid account?
You have to have a paid account.
There you go. Thank you.
I did not see it when I was in my free account. I could not see it at all. The minute I switched to my paid account, it immediately populated.
That's fantastic. Great. And I think you all are right that it makes perfect sense. That's because of cloud storage and recording. Makes perfect sense. So that is the saga of the voice recorder. It sounds quite, based on Robert's question, it sounds like I'm the only one who's been waiting for this feature.
Actually, the only reason I asked is when I've been involved in board meetings, there's been a request not to record.
Interesting.
Well, if you have someone who is taking minutes, it isn't associated directly with recording. Those are minutes. It's not a recording.
Not only that,
There's something.
not only that, but you can tell the person taking minutes to stop momentarily. I've been in board meetings like that as well.
Right. So you can do that here. So if I go in and again, I start this, I do have a pause button. So if there is ever something confidential, I can pause, and now you can see it's not recording anything, and then I can start back up again, and it will pick up right where it left off. So there is that feature. Oh, sorry, I didn't spotlight myself. There is that feature, but just one more time, there's a pause button. I can stop the recording, and then I can start all over again. So that's handy to have.
Okay, thank you.
I really would like to see them grow this into an interface where the recordings, right now the recordings are just, they're like, there's no way to access them unless I look at them in my schedule here on my meetings tab. There's literally no way to see them. If I click on the record button, unlike if I click on the join button where I get a dialogue and I get to actually take action, or this button, I have to sort of confirm that that's what I want to do. I have some options. If I click on record, it automatically starts recording. So there's no, which is good. I'm not complaining, but I would love to see an interface where I can see all of my recordings in one place and again, go back in time, because right now, anything before today, I can't see. At least I haven't figured out how to find them. So. That is what's on the recorder side of things. What else do people have? I mean, we can certainly jump into release notes, but I've already dominated most of this conversation. So let's have other people jump in. And
something that has actually been very interesting with our broadcast today, David, that Lois noticed, Roland noticed, Guy noticed, that are watching us on YouTube, is that we're all video and audio out of sync. So Zoom is sending to us through the custom live streaming service right now today, for one magical reason or another, that our audio and video are out of sync.
We're not all out of sync. I listed the people that were out of sync, but Ronnie was fine. Other people have been fine.
According to YouTube, the stream looks healthy. The analytics don't really show you much of anything, but yeah, I don't know. Chat rate, views, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I just, again, because there's the delay, I just listened to myself and I'm not out of sync. So Lois, yeah, that's weird. Robert was, Ray was, or not Ray, Robert, I did see was out of sync. It was weird. It was as if it
David,
was the beginning of the stream or something.
Yeah, but I'm always out of sync.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care. I worked hard. I couldn't get it better than it is, and everyone's just gonna have to live with it. This is as good as it gets.
So if you prefer to listen to people that are in sync, according to Guy or who else, I can just continue talking for the entire evening.
That sounds good, Ronnie. What's on your mind?
You had a big question that you posted in our Discord, and Andy, it sounds like Andy came to the rescue. I had bookmarked it though, because I thought we could talk about it today. You want to share that, Ronnie?
Yeah, kind of. I'm still so the case is there is a roundtable discussion with many different countries. They have two persons in each delegation, and there is 10 countries joining in this roundtable discussion, plus chair, etc. They can also have physical guests attending the same physical conference, but some of these countries are believed to be denied traveling to this conference, and thus we need to use Zoom as a way of having those people joining the conference. So there is a high risk of people trying to access this conference that should not be allowed into this conference. And this is set up as a normal Zoom meeting at the moment. So we're trying to find out how to prevent fake accounts or unvetted people to access the conference. And what Andy said is to use same model that we use in office hours, which is you send them a registration link, they register, they get the join link by email, then they click the join link when the meeting is starting, and they will be put in the waiting room. And we can, as Robert explained a little bit before we went live, you can force those users to be put into a breakout room directly. And in that breakout room, we can have a liaison or someone actually just checking their ID and making sure they are who they tend or try to say they are. And if they're not, they're thrown out. And if they are okay and approved, we send them to the main meeting room. So far, so good. All that is known, and we know how to do that. The question is, we probably will have users that suddenly are becoming a part of the discussion. This is a three-day conference. So let's say we started the first day's conference, and 2 hours into the conference, they need some extra person to come in and answer questions or just be a part of the meeting. And we would like to give them access even if the meeting has started. So we can't pre-authorize them, or we can't do that before the meeting, and because we didn't know. And 2 hours into the meeting, we have a new user that will wish to join. So that is kind of the way we are, where we are now, and I don't know exactly how to actually achieve that.
John, go for it.
This is one of those situations, I'm afraid, where it's very easy and very difficult at the same time. You can pre-register anybody for a meeting or a webinar. The problem is, with the standard version of Zoom as it is, it's more difficult to pre-register people for meetings than it is webinars. If you are running it as a webinar, and you even had them all as panelists, you can go to the zoom.us website and you can register people yourself. So you don't even ask them to register, which improves your security because you're not giving anyone the ability to register. You register them and they get their links and they get their personal links. You can do it with meetings, but it's harder to do with meetings. But things like scheduler programs, they do that. So software can go to Zoom and register somebody and get the link back and send it out. So you can do that. Maybe for you, the quickest way would be to run it as a webinar. The other little comment I would make is breakout rooms. Make sure that you do not allow people to control the breakout rooms, because you don't want an uninvited person to get to the breakout room and then leave the breakout room and go to the main session. So make sure your security for your breakout room is written so that you don't allow them to leave the breakout room, except they can leave the meeting, and you bring them back out of the breakout room when you're happy they are who they should be.
Great insights. Thank you. Robert.
There's one other thing. I remember we did an event for a very high profile event. And with the registration, what we did is we set the registration for manual approval. So when someone registered,
Right.
that person had to be approved before he got the link. Yeah. So that was one thing. The other thing with that event, it was so high profile that we actually sent out the registration link to the people who were to register at a specific time. They registered, we knew it was them, and then we approved it, and then that was it for that person. So that's one thing. And then with the moving people from the breakout rooms, Ronnie, it doesn't happen automatically. You've got to move them one by one manually. So you only have one person in the breakout room at a time. Otherwise, you could get chaos in there.
Yep.
Lois.
So I'm just thinking about possible things that could go wrong. When I am in a meeting, and I think this is true of all participants in meeting, in the upper right-hand corner next to view, there's this little shield, and it's got information in it as to what the meeting is, all that sort of stuff. And usually it has something that says, oh, I want to invite somebody, and copy that, and then copies a link for an invitation. So I don't know if you can turn that off or not. I'm not aware of the details on that, but that could be a hazard if there was someone in the meeting who said, well, I'm going to invite so-and-so, and they just went and clicked that, and that would just dump them in there. So does anyone know if that is something one can turn off?
Well, if your meeting is set up for registration, that you have to have registration, then I assume that link won't work. Either it won't be there or it won't work.
Do you know that? Because I haven't noticed its absence ever.
I can say it with so that it sounds like I know it.
Now, is that the authentic you, or is the digital you that's saying that?
Say with conviction and knowledge.
Right. I mean, no, but I can't say that. But as John is saying, you can lock a meeting, which is another really important point.
Mm-hmm.
But if your meeting requires, let me actually go into hold on a second, where is it? Here we go.
So we know we can lock the meeting, and we know how to restrict everyone to register, etc. But the problem we have here potentially is users trying to add the meeting that are legitimate users that we would like to join the meeting, but they try to do this after the meeting has started. And that is kind of where we're stuck now. We don't know if the invitation system is working after you have started the meeting. And I haven't got any solid, and we just have to test it. So this
I
is
can answer that.
Where we are.
The registration stays open until the meeting ends, unless you manually close the registration.
Is this so? This is a 3-day repeated session. Would it be limit? The registration will end at the end of the 3rd day, or
I would presume so. Yes, if it's one reoccurring meeting or no fixed time meeting, the registration system stays open until the thing concludes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I just spun up another meeting in another client, but I scheduled it. So this is a scheduled meeting that I have here. And I clicked. Can you see it there?
No, it just rolled off screen.
No. I'm looking at the settings. It doesn't show you, but I clicked that registration is required. Right. So now I'm going to come up here, and
there it is.
There it is.
No, there it is. But no. That's the invite link. So if I copy this and I pop it in here, what that's going to do is it's going to let you register. It's not going to let you into the meeting. Right. So
good.
Usually that shield gives you the link to the meeting. This should give you the invite link to register.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. That is actually what we would like to happen.
So let me, so I will here, I'll pop it in. This is the link. And well, I'm already here. Let me do a what do you call it? An incognito window. There you go.
That's perfect. That is perfect.
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
So I had to think about this, but this is the way that we ran on medical meetings, where we were showing, how can I put this politely? People's bits. So we didn't really want random people turning up to the meeting, because any porn they could share wouldn't be as horrific, anywhere near as horrific as what the doctors were seeing. And the way we simply had this, we had a form, which happened to be in WordPress, but it could be anywhere. And then we used a product like Zapier. So So the form was sent to Zapier. Zapier then registered the people into the Zoom meeting, and Zapier then returns their personal link. And then we were able to email out to each individual person their personal link for the meeting. So the meeting registration was never shared with anybody. Nobody could ever get into the meeting unless they copied somebody else's link and came in as that person. And that was the only way they could get into the meeting. That's how to lock it down in a meeting mode. As I said, in webinar, you can go to the webinar webpage and you can actually register people and send out the links to them directly from that. And also in the webinar mode, you do get to see the links that everybody has. So if somebody forgets it or doesn't know what it is, you can email it to them directly. I don't know if you've got time to build up a Zapier solution, but that would be the way to lock it down with meetings.
Great stuff. Robert, go ahead.
Yeah, the Zapier is really good, and you can actually pull the registration details for an individual that's registered through the API, so you can catch hold of those registration details if you required. The other thing I think I would do, Ronnie, is restrict only one user device for the meeting, so that you don't get people sharing links.
Right.
Frank?
I put some additional data about closing registration after the meeting date in the chat. I guess it's changed a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Rodney, does any of that stuff help?
Yeah, a lot.
You can also require authentication, which is a little bit more security.
Yep.
So that means the people joining have to join with a Zoom email, like an account in Zoom that's tied to a Zoom email, like to a proper email that's been registered with Zoom.
Yeah, we have that turned on for this meeting also, for these meetings.
And Ronnie, if you wanted to, you can go really one step further too, is use the geo-blocking functionality in Zoom as well. Should there be certain countries and such, but John's going to tell me why not. Okay, why not?
John just had a fit.
Yeah, I apologize, Zoom, but I had a fit because as Mike and I have had conversations about this before, I'm in the UK, just for reference. But when I join a meeting, I can join a meeting from the States, from the Netherlands, and from a couple of other places in Europe, which I can't remember which ones they were now, but I think one was France, but definitely in the Netherlands. And when I geo-blocked my account so that only people could join from the UK, I had members in the UK who couldn't get in because they were told they couldn't come in from the Netherlands. So be careful with this geo-blocking, because Zoom's great system of getting everybody connected to a faster connection can mean you get to join from the wrong country, and therefore you can be geo-blocked for the wrong reason.
Yeah. I would also, I run a bunch of meetings, well, not as much as you guys do, I'm sure, but at least once a month with a large number, couple hundred kids who are under 18 in the US, there are very specific laws around that, most notably COPA. And so to control people, miscreants getting in, I never have multi-day meetings, even though the meetings are often 3 and 4 days at a time. I have 3 or 4 individual meetings and then put the controls around them, so that when registration closes after the meeting date, it truly is closed for that particular day of the week.
Ronnie, go for it.
Yeah, I think we are closing into a solution here. I just checked while we were speaking here. I would check the manual approval process, and it seems to be the way to go. So we can have a person just checking all the requests coming in beforehand and approve everyone that should be approved, and then during the meeting we will know if someone needs to be accessing the meeting, because there will be discussions about this around the table, etc. So we will know when to go in and check the requests, and then manually just approve them. And I think I haven't tested that yet, but I think when you manual approve, even if it's a meeting, not a webinar, there will be a link sent out to this user.
Great. That was a juicy problem. Thank you, Ronnie. Good challenge. I have another update for folks. Last week, I shared the custom avatar that I made. And I was concerned that maybe it wasn't as good as it could be because I hadn't been as expressive. Well, what you're watching right now is a custom avatar. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. But I did make a custom avatar, and I tried to be much more expressive. And so you all will be the judge. Welcome, everyone, to the Zoom Test Kitchen. I'm your name, and I'm thrilled you're here. This is the space where we explore, experiment, and push the limits of what Zoom can do. Whether you're a seasoned Zoom pro or just starting to stir the pot, you're in the right place. Each session, we roll up our sleeves and test features, some familiar, some brand new, so you can bring more creativity, confidence, and control to your virtual meetings, events, and classrooms. This is a safe place to try things, make mistakes, ask questions, and share what you've learned. So grab your apron or just your curiosity, and let's cook up something amazing together. Welcome to the kitchen. Sorry, I forgot to put my actual name in there. I used ChatGPT to write that little script.
That is sick.
I think the voice is more expressive. I think here's the original one. Hello and welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen. My name is David Paskin, and I'm joined by an amazing... I think the voice is better. I still think the video is horrendous. I can't... I think it looks awful. I don't think the lip sync... And again, this isn't... I'm not complaining here. Like, this is the worst it will ever be. And it's amazing. But I just wanted to give that update that speaking more expressively does seem to make a small difference. I'm not sure if it's a good difference. Robert and Lois.
David, if I didn't know you and I didn't listen and watch you every week, I probably would have accepted it. But as far as I'm concerned, that's an imposter. That's not you. The head movements are wrong. The eye movements are wrong. You don't move your body the way that's the avatar did. So, yes, it's really good. Yeah. But for me, it's an imposter because I know you.
Yeah, I agree. Lois, go ahead.
I think it's really good. And if it were something that you were going to put as a small portion of the screen, inset into something else or something, so it wasn't taking the whole screen.
That's interesting.
Then I think it would be acceptable, because when the image is smaller, you can get away with a lot of stuff. That's
a really good point. You're absolutely right. If this were a all hands meeting with a slide deck and you just want to use this as that's a good call. I think you're right about that.
I think your avatar needs a goatee so we know evil David from good David.
And you need to teach it to do this.
Yeah. I don't think it does. It doesn't do hand movements yet, I don't think. It did shoulders and it did a mouth, but I don't think, and face, but.
Yeah, the shoulders at the very end threw me right off, David, in that video.
And I do have a weird tick with my neck, so that's not. Hello and welcome to the Zoom Test but it's Kitchen. Not crazy to me. My name is David Paskin, and I'm joined by an amazing. But you can't see it.
We can hear you double, David.
I know. I'm sorry. I was just looking at it again to see my weird tick. In any case.
It's the eye movements which are
you're right.
The biggest giveaway is that the eye movements are just sort of kind of random.
What I think one of the pieces that's interesting to me about this technology is that the voice in, for example, Google LM, Notebook LM, excuse me, the voices in the audio over there, the voice in ChatGPT, they are exceptional. I mean, really, really good. They're expressive. They they've got they put the filler words. I mean, they can do text to speech in an amazing way. And it's always interesting to me to see technologies that can't yet. I think Siri in some ways is still like that. And this would not pass. And I mean, if this were on ChatGPT, it wouldn't pass muster. So the technology is interesting to me. Robert, go ahead.
And if you really want to have a look at have a deep dive, go and watch the last episode of the Tony Mobley show, because Tony went into this with someone very deep and was really, really interesting.
Yeah. With oh God, I just blanked on his name.
Ken Jordan.
Kim Jordan.
Ken Jordan. I knew there was a Jordan there. I wasn't sure if it was yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. Lois, go ahead.
So I was wondering if you like the voice of a different thing. Is this thing that you're trying out able to take an audio recording and create the facial expressions to go with the audio using an existing audio?
Well, that's what you do. That's how you do this. So when you record, I don't know if, yeah. So let me show you again. So unable to, because I'm in a meeting again, I can't do it. Sorry. When you record a clip, what it does is it has you look directly at the screen. It has you turn your head or nod or blink your eyes, and then it has you talk for 30 seconds, where presumably it's recording you. It has you read a series of numbers. It's all very quick, but so that's how it does that. And then you put in, so then it creates the avatar. You then put in a script, a written script, and the avatar then reads the script. But it is based on my actual voice. Whether it does a good job or not is up for debate.
I don't think you understood my question.
I'm sorry.
I have an audio file. I already have the words that I created in that notebook LM. I've got the audio file. Can I take that and have it create the visual to go with that existing audio file?
So you can, let's see, you can, if I just click on, again, hold on, let me open up my other, because I can't do it from over there. All right, so here is this, and I'm going to go into, where is it, clips. So in clips, I've got a few different options here. If I go to record clip, what that did is it opened up this dialogue, so I can choose what screen I want to record. So that's the record clip button here. The other, let's see what else. Create with avatars, that's what I just did. But if I choose someone, the only way to have them talk on this dialogue is to put script in. Let's see if this last, so then there's upload video. Videos can be a MOV, MP4, AVI, W, H264, 5 gigs or less. Uploaded clips will be converted to MP4 format. So I don't know if you could, I'm not sure what this actually does.
It's just video hosting so that you can use it in your meetings or other things.
Oh, it doesn't convert anything?
Converts the format. It's not going to do what Lois is talking about.
It's not going to do it. Okay.
You could probably game it by doing loop back and feeding the new audio in.
Currently, create your own avatar and using it for a script is text-based only, as far as I know.
I sort of expected that answer.
I mean, if you really, there are absolutely ways to upload. There are tools to upload audio to and then have avatars read it. You could do that. But if you really needed to do it here, you could always throw that audio into ChatGPT or Gemini, have it transcribe it, and then just throw the transcript in. Robert?
Right. The point was that you didn't like the voice as well here as you did in the other one. That's what I was trying to merge the two parts, the voice from the other one and the video from this one. And that's not happening now.
The whole point is for it to be easy to use for people who aren't technical. So it's
Yep.
all one self-contained tool.
Yeah. Go ahead, Robert.
Just saying that this, I like it that it's not perfect, because if it becomes perfect, David, I think we'll all be you at the next meeting.
That actually sounds horrendous.
but just coming back to this is I mentioned this about 2 weeks ago when you were showing this tool, this functionality, that it's really cool to send out a reminder message to an audience of people that you've invited to a meeting. Yeah? I'm waiting for you. I'm ready. Don't forget to join me. I think it'll be read and seen and remembered much better than an email reminder.
And my only thing, Robert, is it will take me less time to just record that message than to use the custom avatar.
Yeah, but you could have your assistant do it for you if they have access to your account.
Yes. When this gets better, you're absolutely right.
And having someone send you a little video recording as a text message, where a text message, you're probably going to see it really small. You won't have as many problems, but it is shocking the first time you get one. I had been talking with Guy Cochran, and he, instead of texting me back, he sent me a little message. I mean, it was like 15 seconds or something, but he sent me a video message. It was so shocking. So exciting.
I think more
Nice.
people need to start sending Lois messages. She seems to really get a kick out of that.
David, I think we need to send Lois the link to the baby podcast.
Oh my goodness. I can't get enough of that. I cannot get enough of that. If any of you want to see I think it's really good AI. It's obviously, I mean, there are slip ups, but and now they're doing like Friends episodes and little snippets from Friends and TV shows and stuff like that. It's just amazing. Amazing.
They're
Is
doing
it in the
superheroes
chat
as
somewhere?
well.
Did I miss it?
No, it's I wonder if is it it's a channel, right? It's like Baby Podcast, I think it's called.
Yeah, I put it into Discord. It's on our Discord. I put one in for David to get it all wound up about. And
I just want to say that they have expanded it to the point where they are doing restaurants, like fast food restaurants, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, KFC.
What do you mean they're doing? What do you mean?
They're doing AI representative walking, and it's totally AI. So they have the different franchises walking in AI as KFC, Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts, and so on and so on. They are doing a lot of different musicians, music artists, and they have the actual person doing it. Then they have the superheroes walking together, the actual actor, and then who the actor plays as the superhero walking together. So you might have Superman walking and Clark Kent is right next to him, and they're both AI. It's the same person.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
They've this is, I mean, this is off the rails now. Now everyone's doing this, and people are making podcasts about how to do this. Podcast by babies is, I think, I don't know. I thought that's where it started, but maybe not.
But they don't have a theme song.
They have a theme song, but it is really funny. And of course, because they did it, I needed to do it. I wanted to know what I would look like as a baby. And so that's what I got for my baby look. I think I'm kind of cute.
especially the spectacles, David.
Yeah, I know.
Nice shirt.
Thanks. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, if you zoom in, the guy on there looks a little bit like Moses, because he's like, that's not a shirt that he's wearing. He's like got a full robe, like Moses. That's fantastic. Look at the quality of these images. That's just ridiculous. That is just, wow. Boy, the world that we live in, guys.
Now, that would be an interesting reminder to come to a meeting.
If you got a baby reminding you to come, you're right. And that would catch folks' attention. You're absolutely right. There we go. Tony, I don't want to see those Pixar animated introductions to your show. Next week, I want a baby Tony. That's what I want. I want baby Tony telling us about your show.
With a beard?
Sure, why not?
And make it a Zoom avatar.
We'll see what we can
do you
do.
think?
We'll see what we can do.
There you go. All right. What else do we have, folks? Again, we've got those release notes sitting there if we want to tackle them, but I have to jet out a little early, so I will turn this over to Mike pretty soon, but we can keep going. What's up? Does anyone have anything? I did my all day today. We had parent-teacher conferences, and so I open a Zoom at 8:30 in the morning. I make all 12 breakout rooms, and then all my teachers go into a breakout room, and all the parents come in, and I have this screen that I put up for them. So this is what they come into, which tells them how to find the breakout room button, and half of the people either just don't even read what's on the screen or don't have a Zoom account. We continue to live in, we continue to be very unique folks over here that live in Zoom so much.
You need to have a baby avatar explaining it. Everyone will listen to it.
Okay. I'll work on that. You're right. You're right.
Less writing and more pictures.
Less reading, more pictures. I know. Hasmuk, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a workaround. I was a little flummoxed today. I scheduled a meeting with one of my paid up accounts. And while I was commuting, I got delayed getting to the office. So I had on my phone, I was logged in with my free account. So, and I tried now then to log into my paid account on the phone. And then obviously it says we're sending a authentication or verification. And I'm frustratingly looking at my email. And this evening I realized they actually don't send it to your email. They send it to one of your other devices, which kind of says, okay, if you don't have another device near you, you can't switch your account. So I couldn't figure out how to solve that. So I ended up doing a conference call on the most popular app in Africa, WhatsApp.
Any thoughts? So did you not have another device? Was that the issue that you ran into? Or you couldn't
Well, I was driving and I pulled off the side to actually join the meeting or start the meeting because I was the host. I scheduled it.
Right.
And
So-
I just couldn't do anything about it.
So could you not get into the meeting with your free account, or could you get into the meeting but not be the host?
No, I was logged on my phone in the Zoom app. I was logged into my free account.
Yes. And could
So
that free account not get into your meeting?
No, because I didn't have because I was the host. I needed to start the meeting. So I was trying to switch and log into my paid account. So I put in all the login credentials, but it asked for verification from another device.
Frank and Robert, go.
If you think of it, you could give scheduling privilege to this other account, and then you would be able to join it from the other account as well.
Right.
Explain that.
Yeah.
Zoom has a tool called scheduling privilege that allows you to grant other accounts, could be you as a different login name, the ability to schedule meetings and webinars for you, or to join and host the meetings and webinars on your behalf, and to review recordings and do other things as well.
Do you
So
have to be in the same company though?
Yeah.
And it has to be a paid account. You
Has
can't
to-
assign that
yeah.
to a free account.
It has to be a paid account on the same organization.
Can you? So I'm here in here. Is that alternative? No, it's not alternative hosts.
Scheduling privilege.
Yeah. So where do you know where we'd find that? That's not going to be in here, right?
It's search.
Yeah. Let me go back to.
I
That would
have
probably
I
be
have two accounts on my organization, and I've given them scheduling privilege to each other.
Let's see.
That wouldn't have helped me because
All right.
I was
I'm not sure what.
No, Frank. I was logged into my free account.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Unless you had set it up ahead of time.
No, not a free account.
It has to be a licensed account.
And
No, but
in
you
your
can have a-
organization.
you can have a free account as part of your org, and as
It has to be a paid account for scheduling privilege, I think.
oh the receiving account also has to be a paid account.
The person you're granting the privilege to still
Right.
has to have a paid license.
Okay, gotcha. I'm still looking for where to set that up. I'll keep looking. Robert, go ahead.
I've got two workarounds. You're looking for workarounds on that. One is to call the wife and ask her to click on the OK button on your your computer at home where you usually log in, because that's where the message would have appeared. And the second workaround is with a free account that's part of your main account, you can make that free account. You can always invite the free account to that meeting and allow anyone to start the meeting.
Right.
That's a workaround. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If you had
So-
planned ahead, of course, you wouldn't have had the problem. The problem
Absolutely.
was that you didn't know this was going to happen.
Well, Robert's first solution wouldn't work because the wife was quite prostrate with influenza in bed, so that wouldn't have worked. And this is the email is a different account altogether and not part of an organizational account. It's the one I come in here with my birthday cake as my image. So I think that the second option of inviting that account, but that's obviously like Lewis says, if you plan this contingency, then it would work.
And the third possibility, though you probably won't like it, is to just make your free account a paid account. Just put out the money for a while.
I don't like that at all.
I know, but if you've got a lot of traveling in your future and
No.
this is a possibility, you could just make it a paid account for a while and then go away.
Louis, I have a couple of paid accounts. I just happen to be on the free account. Yeah.
So
So
here's-
anything I deal with personally outside of business, I don't use my business account.
So
me just-
Hasmukh, I don't understand why if you're on your phone, on your paid account, you can't simply log out and then log in with log out of the free account, you're out, and then log in with your paid account. If you've got the information, why
Because-
wouldn't that work?
Because paid accounts often require two-factor authentication if you have that turned on.
Correct.
And
Correct.
two-factor authentication sends a message to right. So it's
Another device.
right. Let me just show everyone real quick, because Frank got me thinking at least about how to give scheduling privileges. So if you, in your user settings, not in your admin settings, in your user settings, if you search for scheduling, you'll get schedule privilege. You can assign users in your account to schedule meetings on your behalf. You can also schedule meetings on behalf of someone who has assigned you scheduling privileges. So then here, if I try and type in an email address, like for example, I'll put in Ray he's not going to come up because he's not in my org. But if I put in one that I know is in my org, it'll find that. So it does have to be in your org. I don't know that I actually have any non-paid accounts in my org, so I can't test that. But I trust everyone here that they all have to be paid accounts. So that's find that.
So if you have a free account as part of your org account, it still wouldn't work because that free account has to be a paid account.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will go in right now and create a.
I know this for certain because this is one of the issues we get on the community forums all the time, David, with people, I can't put it politely, trying to game the system, hack the system by having one paid account and trying to get all the free people to take over the meetings, and it just doesn't work.
Right.
If you went, I have one hack which I think would work. If you'd gone to zoom.us and logged yourself out of all of your accounts, Hazmat, then I think you would have got an email which you could have put a code in and then got back into the system. I think that will work.
I'll try it.
But you need to go to your zoom.us first and opt and log yourself out of everything, because otherwise, as you say, you get a message going to devices you can't get near either.
I shall do that and report next week, because it's useful to know in the event of a contingency. For all I may know, I may have been lost in a desert or an island and I can't get into my paid account.
What I did today too is that on my phone, I have a public, like my free account, and I also have my paid account. And you guys are mentioning about the two-factor. I was able to, because my phone is my two-factor, again, depending on your authenticator that's doing the two-factor, I was able to, no problem, get the two-factor number from the authenticator, copy it to my clipboard, bring it over, and I was able to log in my paid account. No issues.
Right.
Now here's the thing. I don't have two-factor authentication on my paid for account.
Oh.
No two-factor authentication. So I've had it where either in the office, I've had it where I'm in the office or at home and I'm logging in. It would then, like I did tonight. I in fact tried it tonight as we were speaking. So I logged into my phone with my paid for account, and it sent the verification to my office where I was logged in with that same paid for account.
One-time passcode?
Yeah, that's it. Like a OTP kind of thing.
Yeah, it just pops up and says, hey, you're trying to sign in. Is this you or not in the client? You say yes or no.
Exactly.
But Hasmuk, if I'm not wrong, once you've accepted it, you've allowed that your account to be logged into the other device, it holds that for a certain period of time. Now, I don't remember if it's 30 days off, as long as you use it within 30 days. But if you don't use it for a certain period of time, then it locks that device out again. I can't remember the details, but once you've done it once, you should be okay if you pop in.
Yeah, I think that's why I was caught flat-footed, because I know I've logged into that, but I hadn't done it for quite a while. So on my phone, it's just my free personal account. But you may be right. It
also depends how many devices you're using, because if you start using too many devices, they fall off the list, so to speak.
Right.
If you go to it's something everybody should do really at some time. If you go to the site and you don't have to now because it's on the app, see how many places you're logged in. You'll probably be surprised you're logged into more places than you think you are, because it counts the browser logging in as well as the device logging in. So my account at the moment, I think, is logged into 5 different places.
Where can you see that? On the desktop? Do you know where to find that?
Good question, David. I think John's looking.
Yeah, I had it up about 5 seconds ago now. I've forgotten where it was.
Sorry.
If you log into Zoom US, it's under your profile.
Right.
Oh, it's your profile? All right. Let's
through
see.
the web interface.
Yep. So here's my profile.
And it's in your profile in the Zoom workplace
Keep
app as
going,
well.
keep scrolling. Keep going. There it is. There they
Yep.
show up all up.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Don't you
and
get
what-
around.
I'm not quite sure what I'll do. I mean, this is
Now-
what I have been logged in. But these are not different devices, are they?
No, well, not necessarily, David. They're also taking into consideration too what internet IP address
Right,
you
right.
are logged in on.
Like
So if your ISP
Safari
did
on
change
iOS.
IPs, then yes.
Right. Safari iOS is that's one. That's my phone. That's all that is.
Yeah, but it's still a different connection as far as the Zoom software is concerned. If you have a look on your settings in your Zoom workplace app, so if you go to the settings and then go to profile, that shows you a list of them all, and you can sign out of them all. As you see, you can sign out of them all on that web interface you had as well.
All right, wait a second. Settings. Profile. Where's oh, here it is. Profile. Oh, here it is. Look at this. Is nice. Where you're logged in. Yeah, this is really not an accurate list. I'm sorry. These are, I mean.
Yeah, but if you log into the web page, you like the idea that when you go back to that web page, you get logged in. That's because there's a cookie left there. So that's taking note of the fact that you got cookies left all over the place where
Right.
you've been logged in before. And if you go back to that page, you should log in straight away as well.
Right. And then there's the down here, there's the sign me out of all sessions.
Yeah. And also you got the issue that if you log in via Google Chrome and then you log in by the workplace app and then you log in by another browser all on the same machine, it's still going to be seen by poor old Zoom as 3 different places.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm having, and it's on the phone app as well, under profile.
Ronnie, go celebrate.
Thank you. For all that doesn't know, it's the Norway Constitution Day tomorrow, and I have a Harley. I have to.
And
clean
remember,
up.
the sun will come up tomorrow.
The sun will stay up for a few.
So should we all sing?
Few good weeks.
The sun will come out. Frank.
Yeah.
I
I'm
was
also off,
gonna.
guys.
You
Thank
kind of
you.
moved off the topic, but at the bottom of that list of devices, there's a feature that you mentioned. Sign me out of all devices or sessions. That's helpful if you're having login problems.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I think John just suggested.
I also have, as an admin, you can do it on behalf of somebody else. That's helped me fix a lot of login problems for people over the years.
And again, David, you'll also notice there too that it's all date range as well. So you'll see that you have some in there that haven't been logged in since November, October,
Yeah.
right? So you know that you can start killing off a lot of that old stuff because again, as I was saying about the, as your ISP will change the internet address, it thinks, so you might be logged into 3 things now, but all of a sudden, if your internet IP changes tomorrow, you're logged into 3 more things.
Is it important for me to sign out of these things? Like I could. Sorry. Like, should I be signing out of these old ones?
No.
Matter?
Has it ever bothered you?
No, I didn't even know it was
It,
here.
it manages it itself. I mean, if you went, let's say you went overseas or you went to some place that you had some security issue, like some suspicion of nefarious activity, then you might want to go and have a look at that list and say, yeah, I'm definitely going to remove that. But otherwise, it should be fine.
Okay.
This comes under the frame of if it's not broke, don't fix it.
That makes sense.
So are you talking to Smokey or the bandit, David? I saw you pull up a walkie-talkie.
Talkie-talkie.
Sorry. No one else is in the office and the doorbell was ringing, so I was screaming to someone to get up here. What else do we have?
There may be new stuff on Monday, but given Zoom's recent track record, I'm gonna wait and see.
Really? You think we might not get it?
I just don't know anymore. You know, they have the safe harbor statement, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. That's interesting. It was a nice, it's a dot something release. We're on 649, I think. This is 64. Are we on 649? I think we're 649. We are, yeah, no, sorry, we're 646, or at least I am on the Mac, 6.4.6.
And same on Windows.
Yeah, this is 6.4.10. So this is not insignificant one.
There's some nice things there if they actually happen.
Yeah, there really are. I don't know if you guys want to go through them, but Mike, if I'm gonna my 4:30 is my time, unfortunately, today, so I'm gonna let you decide if you'd like to do that.
Yeah, no problem. We'll take a look and we'll gauge it on the YouTube audience what you guys want to see. If you guys want us to go through the release notes, let us know in chat and we'll talk about that as well. And of course, we always open it up for questions as David always does.
Do the stinger, do the stinger, do the stinger.
Do the stinger, do the stinger, do the stinger. Okay, I'll do the stinger. Let's pray it works. There it is. It worked. Look at that. Hey, way to go, ATEM. All right. Yes. So let us know on YouTube if you'd like us to go through what we think will happen on Monday.
I'm just curious, you know what we talked about last week after we signed off of the live stream and the recording? Did you do that thing, that special thing for the end of the show?
Did I do that special thing?
Yeah, you were gonna make something.
I was gonna make something. What was it? What did I promise I was gonna make?
I don't wanna give spoilers. I'll text you in chat.
Okay. Thanks for a reminder. I'll figure it out.
I want to know.
Open.
Yeah, see, David doesn't want to leave now. David,
Now I need to
David
know.
wants to know.
I have the blues sitting on my computer.
Oh, a blues version of. No, I should ask Rodney because Rodney was the one that made the originals. David, correct?
Yeah, I think he was actually. Yeah.
Yeah, should have asked Rodney to actually just throw that in there and say, make this blues version. No, I did not have a chance this week to make a blues
I'm
version.
leaving. That's it. I'm so disillusioned. I can't stay
Frank
anymore.
only came for the blues. Okay, he wants the blues.
But Frank, you can put more characters in your chat. I mean, surely you want to hang out for that conversation.
Yes, yes.
It's surprising. I'm glad they're doing that. Well, I hope they're doing it because it's amazing how quickly you can fill up 4,000 characters.
All right. That sounds like we're going to be talking a little bit about the release notes. So I'll get myself prepared over here and keep chatting, guys. And I'll be ready with you momentarily. All right. Release notes for Workplace app.
I gotta jump, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
You too.
Take care, David. Okay.
You went to the spooky Halloween look there for a second, David.
How spooky was it? I missed it. I've been.
He shut all his TV lights off and he was just being lit by his computer screen. He looked kind of eerie.
Oh, kind of eerie. That's nasty. All right. There we go. Oops. I did that already, didn't I? All right. I did do that already. There we go. All right. So here's the release notes. So we might as well start right at the very top. And of course, everybody knows everything's AI nowadays. So here we go. So we're doing @mention support in AI Companion.
You might want to spotlight it.
All righty. Thank you, sir. There we go. Okay. So @mention support in AI Companion panel. Right. Users can reference team members in AI Companion conversations within the AI Companion panel using the familiar @mention functionality. When typing @ in a scrollable down drop down appears with context displayed names, which filters in real time as users type additional characters. Okay. So very similar to a lot of the other drop downs, and even I have that as many of us will know on YouTube right now. If I do @ and I highlight whoever I'm going to be talking to, that is similar functionality to that. So that's good. So that will be now in the AI Companion panel.
They already had it in team chat, so it makes sense just to use it other places.
Right. Oh, okay. Any other comments, or I'll just scroll over these quickly. It looks like the next one might actually be very interesting to us. So let's see what it's got here. A changed feature. All right, we're going to do enhancements to workplace app desktop settings interface. Oh boy.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, my comment about that is we'll see what mess it makes of people's lives when it comes up, because they are basically shuffling things around, and there'll be lots of people very confused for a while.
Yeah, people get mad when they restructure things.
Yes, we've had that before. That was the version 5 to 6 guys, correct? Scenario?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So where are we moving things? So added new tabs. So we now have, all right, added new tabs. So now we have video and effects. All right. So they're bringing the video and effects from the settings now up as a tab by the looks of it. The notifications and sounds. Okay. It feels like they're just pulling a lot of this stuff up from settings so far. Notifications and sounds. Meetings. Combines meeting related settings previously located across several settings categories. Okay, yeah. So again, pulling from the settings. General. Okay.
Wait, go back.
Wait. Yes.
I don't know anything about this, but I'm just going to say this could be an opportunity for them to fix the reoccurring meetings listings that everyone is so upset about all the time.
All right. John? Yes? No? Possibly?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
All right. And again, that's from our Zoom Test Kitchen community champions from the community forums. So I understand that. All right.
It's also a chance to make it worse. Guess we'll find out.
That would be true, especially the amount of backlash that might be coming from the changes. Yeah, I hear that. So they'll say, "Oh, we just got used from 5 to 6. We just got used to the interface, and now all of a sudden you're changing the buttons on me." Yeah, no, I can imagine the forums going nuts about that. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. All right, so we got a general tab. So again, I'm assuming that's the general tab that we have. Yep, system settings are now okay. So we're bringing. So it seems like instead of us digging in the settings, they're bringing all the. I'm just going to look quickly here myself. I know you guys are not going to see it, but I'm just going to take a look quickly myself. Yeah, right now, so general is if looking in the workplace app, general is its own section, video is its own section. All right, so we're bringing general, we're bringing audio, we brought video and effects. Okay, so they're combined. Yeah, that was in there. So brought general, we brought video, we brought audio. Bringing, so meetings is the interesting, that's a different one that's not entirely in settings. Okay. There's audio. Share screen.
Wait, you passed an important one.
Oh, I did.
There's adding a Zoom apps cache setting. I am a guessing that's because Zoom
Oh.
quite often has cookies and things that get corrupt, and the only real easy way, if you're not super techie, to fix that is to uninstall Zoom and reinstall Zoom. Especially on Windows, you have to use Clean Zoom to get rid of
Right.
those things because they won't go on the normal uninstall.
Right.
I'm guessing they're putting this in for people who are having issues, so there's one button they can click to clean those corrupt things out.
Very, very cool.
I'm guessing. I don't know that for a fact, but that seems like a logical reason to put that in there.
Yeah. It's a great thought, Frank. So again, the audio one. So again, it looks like a lot of the audio functionality from settings is coming in there. All right. Share screen. Let's see what share screen has. Create subcategories for content sharing settings, divided in 3 sections, while others share when I share, and share button behavior.
I think
That-
the whole tab screen share thing has really confused a lot of users, especially multi-share, where you can have like 5 different people sharing whose tab am I looking at. A lot of people who don't use Zoom very often or aren't good at Zoom don't know where, like, I don't see what you're talking about because they don't even realize there's tabs.
Right.
Maybe this will help people with some of that. I don't know.
Okay. Any other thoughts, guys?
Yeah, there's a reference to it in webinars further down.
Okay. All right. We'll get to there. All right. So Zoom phone, obviously there is a Zoom phone tab already. So what else are we having here? So this will be hide incoming calls during a meeting setting has been moved to the notifications and sounds tab. Okay. And that's in the change feature enhancement to the desktop settings interface. All right.
So they bring you all the notification and sounds to a notification and sounds tab rather than being separate for each app
Okay.
or sub app.
Okay, so again, instead of going into settings to tweak the notifications, you have an easier way of getting to it quicker. All right, there's logic in that. We'll see what the community think of that. If you have any thoughts on YouTube, let me know in chat. I am still watching that, even though I'm going through the different release notes. All right. Okay, so that was a healthy bunch that came out of that to go to the settings. All right. So now meetings. All right, here we go. In meeting half panel display mode. Okay. When in half panel mode, users can toggle between AI companion panel and participant lists, or AI companion panel and meeting chat, or, yeah, gotta love more than one or here, or continuous meeting chat. The interface automatically optimizes space by hiding suggested prompts in the AI companion panel.
Shut up. Sorry. I thought I was muted. My cat's meowing his face off.
No problem, Frank. So this enhancement allows users to access AI companion features while maintaining visibility of other in-meeting toolbar options, such as participant lists and team chat, improving multitasking efficiency during meetings. Note, the half panel mode may not be supported on all screen sizes or when resolution scales. And this is for just Windows and Mac OS. So this is for desktop. What do we think?
Seems okay. I don't know. Having extra panels on the side could be useful.
Anybody have any thoughts of any quick use cases that they would do this half panel display, or would have wished they could have done a half panel display mode?
I think it's really geared towards the AI stuff so that you can have access to the AI stuff without losing track of some of your other favorite panels. Like normally when I'm in a meeting, I have the participants panel and the chat panel going all the time. But this way, if you're heavily into the AI, you could have your AI panel and something else.
Right.
Then you can ask the meeting questions or the AI system questions about things while the meeting's running or about the meeting.
Cool. Anybody else? If not, we will continue. All right. Cool. And any comments again from YouTube? Let me know in chat.
I think without getting in trouble, I can tell you there's some other ones. Whether or not they make it for Monday, I can't be sure, but there's some other things floating around that might show up on Monday.
Not in the release notes, Frank? Or are we
That's
talking
right.
related to this?
Not in,
specific-
not in the release notes.
Not in the release notes. Okay. So this might be a TBD, as in to be determined if there's going to be more or less in this revision that might come out on Monday. All right.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Enhancement to spotlighted tab display. All right. When sharing multiple screens simultaneously during a meeting, participants can distinguish spotlighted tabs through a newly designed visual pill that appears next to the selected tab. The spotlight functionality has been refined to work seamlessly with existing gradients and color schemes in the interface. This is interesting because Linux is involved with this one, where the other one above, they are not giving that to the Linux app. Interesting.
So they're just saying that the tabs will have like a visual indicator of which one's happening?
I don't know.
That the one that you've chosen?
Yeah. Spotlighted tab. See, again, I'm getting worried about that word spotlight again. Yeah, just give me a sec. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. And all right. So any other thoughts about the enhancement to the spotlighted tab display? John, I don't know if there's anything in the background from the developer land on that. Nothing?
No.
Okay.
I'm just interested to see. I mean, it's also referred to lower down in the webinar, so I'm interested to see if this makes it easier for people to find those tabs that get lost when people share screens and no one can see it and all those issues.
Right. So again, more user friendliness to the actual in-meeting situation. Cool.
Yeah.
But
Only
I think
works if the users understand it.
Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. This seems to be a user level selection. In other words, each person defines those colors by themselves. It's not something that you can put up as a host for everyone, because the use case, if you could predefine the colors, and this is the challenge that we have sometimes, is when we are running a multilingual event and you share presentations in different languages and you ask people to select the presentation in the language that they're listening to, because they have to do that. They select the language they're listening to, and then they select the presentation that they're looking at in the specific and selected language. What would be nice is we'll just say, for English, select the red tab. For Polish, select the green tab. Yeah? But that's not what it's going to do.
Sounds like a great feature request.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem as if that's what they're going to do. This sort of implies that the participant has to define his own color scheme.
Yeah, which I can see the benefit of that, but I also see your use case too, Robert. So I see both, where the user now knows, if they see X color, that it means something to them. But also in your scenario too, you could actually, as a meeting host, can actually say, so if you see the tab that has the red color, that means this language, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's really, yeah, I like both ideas, and I actually do think, Robert, you should actually ask that as a feature. I do, the feature request. I do like that idea quite a bit, considering they're going down that road for user capabilities. They should be able to have the host be able to force those colors as well, since it's going to be there. All right. Any other comments? If not, we're going to billable hours tracking in meetings. Billable hours. Interesting. In addition to phone calls, customers can track and manage billable hours for meetings. If the track billable hours setting in the web portal is enabled, customers can manually start and stop tracking billable hours from the Zoom Workplace app. Additionally, client codes can be assigned billing notes during or after a meeting can be added, and billable hour reports can be downloaded directly from contacts. Note, this feature is only available to online paid customers and must be enabled by Zoom. Interesting. Must be enabled by Zoom. So in the back end.
Looks as if they're going after the lawyers, because the lawyers are the guys who bill by the minute, if not by the second.
Yeah, billable hour in that regards, I see that there. I see a lot of contractors also in this.
Lots of consultants too.
Yeah. Yeah, whoever does the billing per hour scenario of, oh, I'm doing a support of X on your machine and you need me to walk you through it, you're on the clock.
I've never looked in the Zoom marketplace, but I bet you there's some apps for this, and I bet you they just Sherlock them.
There are quite a few apps in the marketplace that do this sort of thing, yes.
You know what Sherlocking is, right?
The Sherlock Holmes, is that where you went?
No, in the Apple ecosystem, there used to be an app called Sherlock, and Apple basically recreated all the functionality in the operating system, and that app went out of business. So for Apple people who go back far enough, that's called Sherlocking, when someone eats your lunch like that.
Very cool.
There are quite a few time-related apps in the App Store marketplace.
Yeah, but this seems as if it's going to allow you to track billable time to customers. It can also be like a timesheet to bill your own time to within the organization to different cost centers and things like that.
Yeah, and I can also tie this into the events world too, as an example. For a real world example, you could, bill your client X amount of, dollars when you're doing your consultation and have that as a billable hour as well. So the event industry can easily use that as well.
That's right, but that's like a cost center. In other words, you could bill by project. You can allocate your time to a specific project.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's continue. So here we go. Auto call for opt-in meeting attendees. Okay, there we go. Auto call from Zoom meeting feature helps meeting attendees who opt in avoid missing important meetings by automatically receiving a call when the meeting begins. This applies regardless of whether the host has enabled the feature for that meeting or it's for an external meeting. Users can manage their auto call setting in the Zoom Workplace app under the General tab, where they can select the automatically receive a call when a scheduled meeting starts checkbox to opt in.
What do they mean by call? Do they mean phone call or do they mean Zoom call? Like, what do they mean?
Yeah, I'm confused on that as well, Frank. The auto call for Zoom meetings. John, any thoughts on the back end? What they're going to be talking about on that one?
Yeah, I think it will do one of those leave join buttons come up to get you to join the meeting. I think that's what they're going to do. So I get my iPad jumps up and tells me every time there's a meeting and tries to prompt me to do things. The other pop-ups I get are calendar pop-ups on my desktop. They're calendar related pop-ups from the calendar I've got linked into Workplace. But they might have a join button on them if the calendar is recognized that it's a Zoom button that's in the calendar, but otherwise they're just reminders. So this would be nice.
Yeah, because I do know right now in Windows on my end, on my notifications, I do have join or snooze that come up the notifications. So would there be?
Yeah, but they're from the calendar. I believe they're generated by the calendar, not by Zoom meetings.
Okay.
So I like this. This will stop people missing meetings. That's useful.
I don't think this is going to happen, but they do have Zoom phone. Like they have they are a teleco. They could, if you gave them your phone number, they could call you. I don't see that happening, but maybe it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Yeah. That would be a Zoom phone functionality that they're bringing.
Well, it would be one direction, right? Like you wouldn't have Zoom phone, but if they knew your number, they could send you a call. But I don't think that's what it means. But
Any other thoughts? No. All right.
The wording is strange though, because the last sentence says that the setting in the Zoom Workplace app under the General tab where they can select the automatically receive a call. Now, if I'm automatically receiving a call, that means the call's opening up to me. It's automatically receiving. It's not saying that you get a pop-up or you get information that the meeting's starting.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's going to be in the settings, either through the interface or through the app, that it might be that prevent you, it's an auto dialer, for lack of terminology, to the meeting of sorts, where it automatically will log you in. So example would be, 15 minutes before the call, or 15 minutes before the meeting, have it auto join for you instead of you walking through that whole process. I don't know. That doesn't, I'm confused on this too. The auto call, the call word is the killer. Is it are you really auto calling or are you auto joining?
Yeah, well, this was written by AI, remember?
So the plot thickens. All right. On that note, in that confusion, that'll be, as David would say, wait and see until we actually get it, and then we can try it. All right. So, right. Yes, I'm in that wonderful interface again. Hold on. Just give me a sec, guys. There we go. Yeah, ability to use slides as meeting presentation backgrounds. Do we want this? All right. Somebody does. All right. Users can select a PowerPoint or Keynote slide deck to be presented in the background. Users can navigate through their uploaded slide deck images while presenting and adjust the size and location of their webcam video. This feature is available to free, pro, and enterprise users. This enhancement provides presenters with a flexible way to create engaging visual presentations while maintaining speaker presence on screen. Do I think that this is what's going to have a lot of comments by us? I do. Go ahead, Robert.
Does that mean that it's a separate option from the share screen option with you on top that they took away some time back?
Yes, they're fixing what they broke.
Okay, so what it doesn't mean is that it would appear as the background for the whole of the meeting. It just appears for the background of a specific speaker who is sharing that presentation.
They took a lot of heat when they went to the new layouts mode, and they removed the ability for a lot of people, educators and other people who like to have the PowerPoint be the background and their webcam be on top of the PowerPoint. And they gave them sort of a workaround, but nobody was happy with it, and they were getting a lot of complaints about this. So I think they just reinstated previous functionality. But until we see it, is it all the way back? Did they screw it up some other way? I don't know, but I think it's addressing all the complaints I got about taking that functionality away. A lot of people said they were going to leave Zoom and use a different product if they didn't put it back.
Wow. Leaving Zoom and put it, or don't, if you don't put it back. Interesting. So that came from the forums, Frank?
Yeah, a lot of angry people for the last few months.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Any thoughts from YouTube? I am still watching chat YouTube while we're doing this, so definitely let us know if you have any comments or.
The thing I don't like about the layouts feature right now, and I'm hoping eventually they'll fix it, is in a meeting, if you go to the layouts tab, if you want to screen share, you could probably show that if you want, Mike, while I'm.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Keep going.
So anyways, what happens is you've got these layouts, you've got picture in picture, you've got side by side, you've got just the screen share, you and the screen share. It doesn't record that way. So during the meeting, your layout's one way, but the recording doesn't show up that way, which is just mind-boggling to me that the recording isn't the way people experienced it during the meeting. So even if you were, like, a lot of people use Zoom to screen record themselves. It's not the best screen recording tool on the planet, but if that's what you've got and that's what you know.
Yeah.
So,
wrong share. Continue. Yeah.
Anyway, so, you go and you make a screen recording of yourself and you pick, side by side or picture in picture over the shoulder. And then you go, let's say you record for 40 minutes or something. You go look at your recording and it's not the layout you chose. Like, that's just frustrating as all can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'll just show here quickly what Frank was talking about so everybody will see this quickly. All right. Go into, I don't know, can I show the share? Because I'm already sharing. I might be able to. Yeah, let me do this. There we go. All right. So there it is. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah. So if, you've got the sources on the left, but then on the right, it's giving you a preview in the top right corner. And then below the preview, it's got the first icon is just the screen share. The second icon is you and the content. I think the third icon side by side, and then or whatever order it's in. I can't see it. It's a little small for me, but
yeah. No, you did.
Anyways,
right.
so you pick those things, and that's how you appear during the screen share during your live meeting. And let's say you're recording your live meeting and you're cloud recording. Then when you go to your cloud recording, it doesn't look like that.
Right.
Reverts back to the little tiny screen in the upper right-hand corner of the person talking.
Yeah, and
which is
I gave Zoom a little bit of runway. Like it was 6 months ago or something they introduced this, so I thought, okay, this is how it is right now. They'll get around to fixing it, but it's been 6 months. Come on, like make it be the same in the recording.
Frank, the local record would be okay, won't it?
Yeah, but then you lose out on all those cloud recording features that a lot of people want, right? But yeah,
Sure.
You're right.
Yeah, it's still interesting to me that the cloud recording and the local recording are totally different. But I can see where you want, I would rather have a toggle that, the local recording would be, I have it in the settings where I choose between what is being recorded on the cloud to what is being recorded locally. But I know that's probably another feature down the road of some sort, but especially for our community, I could see a lot of use in that. All right, so next one on the list is ability to choose the meeting waiting room default screen. All right, waiting room. When the waiting room is enabled, which it should be as much as possible, participants see a default screen unless account owners, admins, or hosts customize it. Yes. All right. This screen may change over time to reflect Zoom's latest products or features. For example, switching from the Zoom workplace image to the AI companion image. With this release, all right, customers can choose to keep the Zoom workplace image or use the AI companion image as the default screen shown in the waiting room. Account owners and admins can manage this setting at the account or group levels under the meeting tab, security section, waiting room options, customize waiting room. If allowed within the account, and that by who, the host, if allowed within the account by who? The admin, Zoom, does Zoom
The
have to
admin.
turn this on? By the admin, okay, thanks, John. If allowed within the account, the host can then also change the setting for their personal use under settings, meeting tab, security section, waiting room options, customize waiting room. This feature will be added to feature release controls.
I don't really get what this is doing. Like, you can already customize the waiting room. I don't know. I don't completely understand what the point of
Yeah.
this is.
John, is there anything in the back end that we should know?
No, this is I think the issues people have got, which is you can only customize your waiting room in one way.
So if your global settings for the whole account allow it, then in your individual personal settings, you go down to settings, waiting room options, and then right here you can customize the waiting room.
Right.
I'm not sure what else this is giving us.
Right.
Because you have to go to Zoom events and Zoom sessions if you want to customize your waiting room per event. So
Right.
this doesn't seem to be giving anything really.
So,
Now, again, of course, a lot of people, I do see that a lot of people will use just the default image of, that has unless that's what they're talking about when it comes to the Zoom.
Are they just saying choose which ad you want? Like, I don't get it. Like, here's my customized waiting room. I've got this video of just some clouds going by, whatever, right? Just boring, but whatever. I just don't understand what extra this is bringing.
Yeah, what actually, as I was reading it, I was actually getting worried that this is where Zoom is going to actually put more advertisements of their, sneak in extra places where they can now advertise in people's waiting rooms before you actually connect. That's what I was getting.
Well, what it says, out of context, but what it says is switching from the Zoom workplace image to the AI companion image, for example. So,
yeah,
I still don't really. I guess I'll have to see it before I'll understand what they're trying to do here.
Right. I agree. Any other thoughts, guys? Concerned? Not concerned about this? I guess wait and see. We're probably majority of us are all wait and see on that one. We'll see what this. So Frank, right now, you confirm that there isn't any extra functionality in there as of yet, right? In the interface?
No, it's what it's always been for recent times. Ability to choose the meeting waiting room default screen. Like, okay, thought we could already. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's. I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see.
Yeah. Again, wording is killer, and we'll go back to John saying, "Mike, AI wrote it." Yes, I know. Right. All right. So, all right, webinar, everybody. Where's my webinar fans? Oh, only one feature. It must be a good one, John. All right, enhancements to Spotlight tab design. All right.
It's exactly the same as the meeting one.
All right.
There's going to be a pill that shows you the highlighted spotlit thing.
All right. So this is where when Robert was talking about that this should be able to be controllable by the host, this actually makes more sense in webinar now. Yeah. Okay. So same functionalities I read above when it came to meetings. This is also being offered in webinar, which makes sense. Okay. So team chat. All right. Let's quickly go through these ones. Streamline user enablement for chat summary feature. When the chat summary feature is disabled but unlocked by admins, users can now see a call to action entry point to learn about the feature and enable it instantly without navigating away. The CTA opens a pop-up containing a feature overview, an enable button, and a link to hide the CTA if they're not interested. This update empowers users, all right, to take advantage of available tools on their own. Our thoughts when it comes to team chat and streamlining the user enablement.
Well, is it going to turn up once, or is it going to keep prompting them until they make a decision? Be interesting to see how many people get annoyed by it. They're trying to be
Right.
helpful though here. I mean, you know, I'll give them credit. They are trying to be helpful by letting people know it's available, but we'll see.
We'll see. So it's a yet to be determined by the Zoom community.
Where does it stop though? Are they going to have a call to action to every feature you don't turn on? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good one. I guess we should pause on that and say call to action. Can there be too much call to action?
Yes.
I'm waiting for the call to action feature that allows you to decide whether you want to use the call to action.
I put it in the same ground rule as notifications. You don't want every notification. I don't mean in Zoom notifications. I mean on my phone or on my Mac.
Exactly.
Right.
So call to action. Zoom, be careful is what we're saying. Oh,
I wonder if Zoom's just trying like to promote the use of this because they want it to be used more.
that it is an interesting way of nudging the to get the usage up on it.
I know some organizations who don't want the team chat used at all, like outside of the meeting chat. They don't want it turned on. They actually try to kill it as best they can. But
Now, Frank, how far can you go with that? Can you actually disable team chat?
yep,
You mean?
yeah. There's a lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the people who most likely will complain more, I mean, the admins will complain for the enterprise accounts, but they can shut it off, right? Or hopefully they can shut it off. But the ones with the simple pro accounts, like me, I just have an account. Does this mean I'm going to get bombarded with every possible thing? And do I really want that? No.
Some industries and businesses and organizations have very strict rules about how things are recorded, and they also may be falling under government legislation about freedom of information requests. So if you are having chats, they could be requested as public records and things. So some places will just not have those things be recorded. Then there's nothing you can request. Or they'll have a different system that they've already, maybe a more robust system that they're using internally. So there's reasons why people wouldn't want this on in organizations.
And certainly you missed one statement. The scary word when you work in private industry, which I've experienced it a couple times, is the
Discovery?
word discovery. Where I literally had to take the hard drive out of my laptop and just send it to the lawyers.
I didn't forget it. I just didn't want to wander down that road too far.
Pete, we don't want to go too far. We're going too far, man. All right.
Far too fast, too soon.
That's it. Absolutely. All right. Back to the release notes. All right. So now the next one in the wonderful world of Team Chat is reduce UI obstruction from floating buttons. Dismiss icons were added to floating buttons, allowing users to hide floating notifications on desktop apps. Font styles have been standardized across the sidebar, chat, canvas, and mobile app to maintain visual consistency. These enhancements help minimize interface clutter and deliver a more seamless chat experience. So sounds like they're just cleaning up things, guys.
Yeah.
Am I reading into that? Yeah. Everybody can't see it, but everybody's nodding at me. The panelists are nodding at me. So that's a cleanup that has probably been overdue and probably been asked for quite a bit in the forums. All right. Improve team chat compose experience in the mobile app. All right. For our mobile users out there. All right, here we go. Users now benefit from the enhanced team chat compose feature when creating or editing messages in the mobile app. The updated design offers easy access to AI companion features, app mentions, and rich text formatting options, bringing the mobile experience in line with the desktop app. Okay, so this is make it a
They
parody.
mentioned that
more.
earlier too.
Yeah.
Only it was for the desktop apps.
Yeah. These improvements allow users to seamlessly switch between tools, making it easier to compose engaging and well-structured meetings while on the go. So again, it just looks like general improvement. Everybody nod with me again? All right. Yeah, everybody's nodding again. Yep. General improvement again. Okay, all right. Next, improved pin to tabs functionality. All right. The pin to tabs experience has been updated to make it easier to pin links, as well as existing or new Zoom docs, Zoom notes, or Zoom whiteboards directly to channel tabs while setting permissions to view, comment, or edit. Good, bad, ugly? I got a thumbs up. I got
It's
don't
good, I
know.
guess.
It's a good, I guess. All right.
Yes.
Good, I guess. All right. I will take a good, I guess. That means to be continued to see what they do with it. Okay. All right. This next one gets into the translation world. Robert, looks like improved message translation in Team Chat. The updated translation menu now displays translate to preferred language and provides easier access to translation settings at the top of the menu. Users can change their preferred language in chat settings and adjust the target language for previously translated messages. These enhancements improve the overall translation experience by making it easier to translate messages into the language other than the preferred one, and by streamlining access to language settings. So I'm going to go to Robert on that one first. Your thoughts, Robert?
Well, this one's interesting because it says that it'll allow you to translate previously translated messages, change the language of previously translated messages. Now that's I haven't seen any app that works like that, which is pretty interesting.
So it sounds like to me, briefly, it sounds like to me what they're talking about there is that they're basically taking the text that's already in the team chat, throwing it through AI or through their translation system, and then spitting it back out into the chat. Like going in through your archives and then grabbing everything and translating it.
That sort of regenerates the chat, doesn't it? It regenerates it in a new language, which sounds pretty unique. It isn't saying translate from now onwards in this new language or different language. It's the whole thing.
Yeah. Adjust the target language for previously translated messages.
I wonder if this will ever come to meeting chat. Like team chat is outside of meetings, but if they can do it in team chat, can they do it in meeting chat?
That would be nice. As a matter of fact, I ran into that this week on one of the meetings I had, that actually it was a Zoom event, and one of the people actually left because they couldn't read. They were enjoying themselves. They turned on the translation for the main event that was happening in Zoom. I think it was a Zoom event or Zoom session that we were watching. And John, I think you know which one I'm talking about, because I think you and I were on that one on Wednesday. The work one that Zoom did. I know I was mentioning it to John anyways, because there was something else in there that I noticed.
The Transformation Summit?
Yes, the work transformation. Yeah. And there was a couple people that actually left the meeting, and one of them actually put in chat in English that they were leaving because of the fact that they couldn't understand the chat because it was in English. So yeah, this would be actually interesting, is if you could actually during the meeting not only have the translation of what is actually going on in the meeting, but actually translate chat on the fly too. to the preferred language. Your thoughts, Robert, on that one? Good.
No, I was
bad?
just thinking it's an interesting thought. The challenge here, of course, is the problem with chat is if it's in a language that you don't understand, how do you read the chat to find the instructions to change the chat to the language that you want? That's the challenge here. And the same thing applies to interpretation. Yeah?
I would think in your personal meeting settings, you could set a preference for what you want your chat language to be. It would only apply to you, not to anyone else, right?
I would hope so.
I would hope so, yeah.
Yeah, that actually, yeah, that's a good one, Frank. That would actually be really nice. Is if you could actually within settings under the, I'm going to do it right now, actually. Under
when
the
you hit
settings-
transcript, when you hit the transcript button, it does say set the caption language for this meeting. So I wonder if that will work across the transcript and the chat.
Yeah, that would actually be really nice. This is being very specific to team chat, but if they can do it in team chat, Frank's right. Or Robert, I can't remember who said it, but this will be awesome in meetings and webinars and, all the way up. And if this is one of those ones that you must get sessions or events to have initially, at least, then let it trickle down by all means. But that would definitely be something that that work event specifically. Frank, were you there this week on that one?
I didn't show up. I have the recording. I still haven't watched it.
Right. Yeah. I actually have a few screenshots from there that I could actually show later after the release notes if anybody's interested. Because I think Andy and Jonathan might have been hanging out there during that one. Because there was something that was involved in that meeting that currently is in beta. So that's the tease. So I'll stand by on that one. Going back to the team chat updates here. All right. So this is the character limit. John, are we happy? Expanded team chat character limit to 16,000. So right now the limit is 4,000. The limit has now been bumped up to 16,000. That's good. This enhancement allows users to share more detailed information and complex messages. Yes, I've actually run into that problem actually when I have been chatting with John. As a matter of fact, as a perfect example, is that I've actually had to break out my chat sometimes into multiple chats, part one, part two, to get my thought across when I was doing that. So yeah, I like it. John, go for it.
Yeah, I actually had that problem today, and I had the same problem yesterday. And I'm now actually wondering if I want this feature to come along because I've just started to persuade people to use Zoom Docs for their bigger sharing. And now they'll be able to do it in chat again. But one interesting point, I don't know if anyone else has noticed, I only noticed this week, you can share, you can create a Zoom doc, you can share it using the sharing feature, and participants can cut and paste the text as if it was written down. So let me just say that again, because I'm probably slightly confused. You can set up a Zoom Docs doc and you can share it with everybody and they can then edit it and you can all work on it together. But you can also just create a Zoom doc for yourself, use the screen share feature, and it seems to allow you to it does allow you to share that document through the screen share. But when the people see the screen share, they can copy and paste text out of it. So it's a dual life. It's a screen share, but it's actually the real text there, and you can actually mark it and copy it.
I have not seen that. That sounds fascinating, to tell you the truth. If it's a Zoom doc, correct?
Do you want to know the secret?
Uh-oh.
There's a good possibility this just happened by accident and they didn't plan it that way.
I have it in my toolbar or in my sharing, and it says it's got a new icon on it.
Oh.
It's in documents, whiteboard, docs, and docs has new on top of it.
That is, sorry, Frank, that is in the min?
Nope. Click on screen share.
Yeah, just click on in the app.
Oh, it's actually okay.
Click on share and the documents tab.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, docs.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it.
So if you choose a Google Doc, a Zoom doc, and you share it, it's shared as the web page, which is what it is. And because of that, you can copy and paste the text out of it. We used it yesterday.
Yeah, and I just noticed too that you can actually share sound and optimize for video sharing.
Do you have one? I want to try using it.
John, do you have a doc?
Well, I thought maybe you'd have one.
Well, I don't. I don't use Zoom docs actually myself, but John, you got one there? He's looking.
Frank, I naively thought that the new button was an active button that you can open a new document.
Now you see, this is again Zoom. See what happens.
So let me
different
just
interpretation. Go ahead, John.
So I'm sharing, and I've got the option to can edit. I can say can comment, can view. So I have to do can view and just share it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's one I knocked up in very quickly.
Yeah.
All right. So you can view that.
Yeah. I'm just curious to see what if YouTube is going to be nice and actually show it or not. They should. All right. Yeah. It does come as a screen share. Go for it, John.
Yeah. Yep. So can you move? Well, I can see you moving I can see where you are. So if you move your characters on there and you can highlight contents of that.
Yeah, I copied some and put it into the chat.
Yeah. So it's actually copying the web, because Zoom Docs is a web page based app, and they're just making that available to you. Whether I can, I'm just trying to see whether I can change the abilities on the fly. No, I can't see how I changed the abilities on the fly, but I could have changed it so you could comment on it, so you would be able to contribute. So maybe I'll stop and try doing that again so you can see that version, and hopefully it will get to YouTube.
Yeah.
I think I share again. If I share and I tick can comment and share.
Well, while John's doing that, guys, I'm wondering if Zoom Docs before would that actually work on YouTube? I don't remember if it did or not before this. I didn't know if it was shareable to this point. I don't think it ever was.
I don't think it was. You could have shared the screen where it was on your screen.
Right.
Right.
But not any further.
You wouldn't be able to share it. Now you should be able to comment, guys. Now you should be able to add comments to the text this time.
All
If
right.
I've got the sharing value right.
And on mine, at least on the Mac, I can tell when it changed because I go from a pointer to the large I bar, like you're going to do inserting text in Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
The cursor changes quite visibly.
Yes, and I can see where your cursors are. But because I didn't give the edit facility, you can't actually change the text. But you should be able to put a comment on there.
Yep.
So hopefully this will improve use of Zoom Docs. And there's also a better version of Zoom Docs for handing out tables or spreadsheets, as other people may call them, which I haven't even seen in the release notes, but that's in the system now. So if you're going to create a Zoom doc, you can create tables. Well, that's that. So that's quite a nice feature they've smuggled in without releasing.
And there were reactions at the bottom of that. I don't know. I just noticed now, just as you switched it off.
Yeah, it's a good little app. I use it a lot, and I'm gradually getting other users to make use of it. But it's good. It's good for collaborating. It's good for notes. And this view feature is really good because if you've got an agenda, you can share it through that feature so they can all see the agenda.
Yeah, or like I just did is what obviously I used Companion AI and it spit out that event planning ideas info in the doc. Very cool.
And the other thing I noticed about Zoom Docs, but I expect you all knew this, is you can create folders in folders in folders. I don't know how deep they can go. I've only gone 3 deep so far. But you can create folders in folders. So if you want to organize your Zoom docs, you can create folders for them. You can have folders in folders, and you can move the docs around from one folder to another. And if the Zoom Docs team want to have a chat with me again, love to have one. Enjoy the last one.
Ah, okay. The word is out. All right. There we go. Next on our infamous team chat. Okay, so that was the 16,000 characters. Enhancements to meeting asset sharing in channel meeting cards. Okay. Hosts can now manage the sharing of meeting summaries and recordings directly from the continuous meeting chat, CMC, post-meeting card. When shared with all CMC members, the card displays a recording frame and a summary preview, making post-meeting assets easily accessible and visible to the group. Your thoughts, gang, on that? I'm not a big fan of this myself, but that doesn't mean my normal use cases would not have this. I would need this functionality, but go ahead. Oh, I think everybody agreed with me that is anybody using these right now? The channel meeting cards? No. Yeah. In the same boat as I am. All right. We shall continue. All right. So enhanced global search for direct messages in the desktop app. Okay, let me just scroll back. There we go. All right. Users can now streamline their message search experience with a new direct message filter in global search. This filter allows for comprehensive searches across all one-on-one conversations and prioritizes direct message results at the top. The interface clearly distinguishes between sent and received messages, offering better context for each result. Even if users don't remember the conversation participants, they can easily retrieve important messages by searching their full direct message history, making the process faster and more efficient. Enhanced global search for direct messages in the desktop app. Any thoughts, Guy?
I've seen comments, questions about this in the community forum, and I think I've seen them in developers forum as well. So there's obviously a need to be able to go back and find out what people said and where.
Cool. Go ahead, Pete.
I didn't have anything to add.
All right.
It was just me. I was going to say it reminds me of the search option in Gmail. You can go and search a keyword and go through all of the emails and pull them out.
Right.
It's just like those messages. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, so it might be them just modernizing stuff, guys. That might be it too. Ah, John, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, search for the pay raise. Yeah, exactly. A search on steroids. Absolutely. Back to the release notes. Enhanced entry points for Zoom team, chat, compose, and threat summary with AI companion. No, there's that AI word again. Oh, there's an initials. AI companion icons. All right. Users can access the Zoom team chat, compose, and thread summary with AI companion features through updated entry points marked with an updated diamond icon, thus the diamond AI companion icon. Okay. Team chat compose with AI companion entry point has been repositioned to the left side of the message compose area, appearing first to ensure consistent placement across the interface. When users select text, the inline toolbar also displays the updated diamond icon for the compose feature. Additionally, the Zoom Team Chat Thread Summary with AI Companion feature, that's a long feature name, feature is now visually represented with the same icon, creating a unified visual language for AI Companion functionalities. These updates enhance feature discoverability and contribute to more cohesive user experience. Yet to be determined, guys, right? Because this got to see this one to be able
So if you
to.
can't find pay rise in the search for chat, you can use AI Companion to ask for a pay rise. Yeah. Okay.
Right. On
No,
that
John,
note,
you can use the icon for pay rise.
yeah, the icon, as far as I know, it's a free, but it, we're not getting any pay rise off of an icon. But on that note, we're adding additional messages to contact requests, says Team Chat in Zoom. All right. Users can now provide content when initiating contact requests by adding optional messages through various methods. All right. When opening a chat me link, okay, scanning a QR code, yes, or adding a contact in a one-to-one chat session, users have the ability to include a personalized message with their request. Good. On the receiving end, users can review these messages before accepting or declining the connection requests. This feature, previously available on the desktop app, okay, is now also supported on mobile. So this sounds like to me they just moved it to mobile. So it's just aligning the mobile app with the desktop app on this feature. I was going to say this is, if anything, this would have been them just adding functionality that's already available in a lot of other chat software functionality, but now it looks like it's moving to the mobile app. Any other thoughts, gang, before we go do clips? Okay. Clips, Zoom clips. Account owners and admins, ability to embed a clip in Slack chat for our Slack chat people. All right. Account owners and admins can configure the Zoom clips integration with Slack through the OAuth authentication, managing user access. Let me just get that. There we go. And feature settings for their organization. The integration supports inline playback of shared clips within Slack's chat interface, respecting organizational policies and clip privacy settings. Users can initiate the clip sharing using the /Zoom clip command, and the system automatically unflurs shared links into the embedded player. When clips receive engagement, such as views or comments, the original clip owner receives instant Slack notifications. This secure integration enhances team collaboration by keeping all clip-related interactions within the Slack environment. And that's going to be for Windows. It looks like for everything there.
Mm-hmm.
So for you Slack users out there, this might be a good thing, might not. John, has this been a request in the forums?
Well, if you think about it, this is not something Zoom's done. This is something they've had to put into Slack. So they've persuaded Slack to do the link back into Zoom. Maybe there'll be others that will allow it in the future.
Okay,
But this
so
is
this
a Slack feature because it's Slack that needs to embed it back for Zoom rather than Zoom give it to Slack, so to speak. So this is a indication, shall we say, that Zoom would like to embed content in other people's apps.
opens the door a little bit.
Yeah. Once one's done it, then pressure's on others, isn't it? So be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden everybody will go, oh, I can do Zoom and do these Zoom clips in Slack. Maybe I don't need to be with X anymore.
Yeah. Or I've got a corporate app and maybe I want to embed them in mine. So it's saying you can do it through an OAuth authentication. So they've now got a proven method to embed it in other apps.
Right.
rather than going through the whole palaver of being a marketplace app and having to write it to all that degree. You just need an OAuth app authentication. You can take it.
Right. I agree. Any other thoughts, gang, when it comes to Slack? I don't know if any of us are using it or if anybody on YouTube is using Slack. I know that BitFocus does use Slack. So I don't know if there'd be any interest from them to do this in an updated version of Slack, but I do know that the BitFocus Companion World does use Slack because I'm in there. All right. Not many of us use Zoom Phone, but I think this next one might be interesting, especially to somebody that's smiling up there that comes to us from the UK and has been playing around with Zoom Phone a little bit lately. Who am I talking about? We'll find out. All right. So enhancement to SMS messaging with API support. Did I say those favorite 3 letters? I did. Yes, they're SMS and API all at the same time. All right, it's a new or enhanced feature. Okay, users can programmatically, yes, send and receive SMS and MMS messages through new Zoom Phone APIs. The API supports sending messages up to 1,000 characters, multiple file formats for MMS, and features like Unicode characters and emojis. Messages sent through the API are visible in the client interface and SMS logs, maintaining conversation threads between senders and recipients. The API includes compliance features such as opt-in, opt-out logic, and adherence to SMS limits based on calling plans. The feature supports both individual and group conversations up to 50 recipients for batch messaging and includes webhook notifications for message responses. Messages are queued at a rate of 1 message per second to comply with carrier guidelines, with a maximum queue of duration of 4 hours. All messages are subject to compliance requirements such as 10 DLC verification and toll-free registration and are archived according to administrative policies. These enhancements enabled automated messaging workflows while preserving the familiar Zoom Phone SMS experience. Over to you, John.
This simply means that Zoom now can send out SMS messages and apps that work with Zoom messages, but you must make sure, otherwise you won't be able to do any of it. You must get yourself sourced out with the 10 DLC compliance in the United States, which is a organization controlled and monitored by the carriers to basically give you a set of questions and conditions you have to fulfill. And if you don't fulfill them, it won't let you send SMS messages because otherwise they just get complaints from users.
Right.
So you must be compliant. You must register your compliance. It must be accepted. And then you're let loose sending out your SMS messages.
How does this intersect with RCS being deployed? Or does it?
I think it's separate.
Because RCS is replacing MMS and SMS on most phones these days. It's just a question. I have no idea. It was just kind of struck me.
Well, we've got SMS now. We've got faxing, although we haven't got color faxing. So we're getting there.
And what John means by that is Zoom. The we part, just so that everybody on YouTube understands what that means. Yes, that means Zoom related.
Yes, we has as the application of Zoom are getting there. Yes.
Yeah. So where I thought this would be interesting to our Zoom Test Kitchen community is that should you have an event and you want to send out SMS messages at a larger event, especially for in-person, now you could actually do this using the Zoom Phone system through having a Zoom Phone license. You can send these SMS messages out So all of a sudden, in 10 minutes, the next one will happen, even though it's scheduled to be a hybrid, but that would be a message you would send personally to a local event, right? As an example. I know that currently that some of the larger trade shows that I go to already have this built into personalized apps right now, where that I will actually get messages within the app. But again, that means I have to have the app open. So now this, of course, means that you don't have to necessarily have the Zoom app open to get the SMS, where you could actually just get the SMS sent to your phone number directly.
Yeah.
As an example.
Then you're at the mercy of whether or not the individual phone user actually lets messages from unknown numbers display.
Right. Right. But again, it would be all part of the registration portion if you didn't give them your phone number in the first place during the registration.
No, it's the other way around is the problem. It's the other way around. If it comes from a number that your phone isn't in your phone contact list, it will not show up on your phone if you have set up this authentication that way.
Right. But what I'm saying is that if you register for this large event that you're the production crew for it and you don't give your phone number to them, then they'll never SMS you. Right. If it's not part of the registration process of what is your cell phone number, then
no. You're going to have to, no, you as the producer will have to give them the phone number that the message is coming from, not the message that it's going to. They need that too. But if it comes from an unknown number, I mean, mine is set to filter. If it's not in my contact list, I never see it. Goodbye. I don't like to get bothered by people.
Yeah, well, that's what the 10 DLC is all about. That's getting the registration so that it knows who it is. And if there would be a problem in the future, they would know exactly who they would go after, the carriers for a complaint.
But the
fact is that most marketing systems nowadays who are inviting me to webinars are also sending me a SMS message with links as well as other ways. So they are sending the links out various different ways to try and get you to turn up.
I was merely saying that sending it out by SMS doesn't solve all for everybody.
No, it doesn't. But this is also going to be really interesting in contact center because this gives the ability in contact center to send out SMSs. And I would be very, very surprised if we don't find features in Zoom events, specifically a little box somewhere where it says send out SMS message before the meeting starts or something, or before the webinar starts. And I expect they'll put that into contact center as well.
Yeah. Again, I'm agreeing with John in that regards too, because again, in the events world, I have seen it personally, especially for the events that have, easily for 10,000 to 50,000 attendees, where they want to be able to have some sort of way of letting you know certain things that are happening at the event. Perfect example is one of the events that I was involved with, not this year, I believe it was last year, they made their own customized app. And what ended up happening during the actual trade show itself is that the fire alarm got pulled. So they basically sent out emergency instructions to everybody that had their trade show app in to say, okay, yeah, please evacuate the building. It is a false alarm, but please evacuate the building. Please go. It basically gives them the full instructions of where they should be moving to a safe place, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of that information was sent, again, via SMS and via the app. So again, because of the fact that I had my name or my phone number given to them, they were able to send that to me while I was at the event. And they also were able to let us know, they said in the SMS that they will let us know when the all clear has been given, and we will get another SMS back.
No, I understand that. I just, there are some controls on the phone will get in the way of that happening.
Sure. And again, yeah, that's a matter of you locally whitelisting the phone numbers, saying that it's legit. Actually, Jonas has actually got an interesting, he says that he said, here is an interesting, so this might be taking us away from the release notes for a second, but Jonas, I wanted to go to it. Here's an interesting curveball I found in the Zoom production. When the Zoom host is a version 5.x. Zoom host is 5.x. But the attendees are 6.x. The host does not see an option to disable share Zoom docs. Okay, so this is going back to when we were showing Zoom docs earlier, I guess, Jonas. Sorry about missing that. Interesting. So again, this is the 5 versus 6. Now, as far as I know, 6.0 was a half decent overhaul, Don, correct? Especially in the back end. So I would assume that docs was not even available with 5.x, correct? I think I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was a 6 version.
Yeah, so in that theory itself, I think that might be the major problem already, is that 5.x doesn't even know about what a Zoom doc is. But that would make more sense. But go ahead, John.
Well, it's never been in the I've never seen it in the release notes, so I can't tell you exactly when the share Zoom docs button actually turned up. It could have been the last release, but we've never seen it in release notes, so I've only found it because somebody's tried to use it.
Right. Yeah. But he does continue to say, but the attendees can share it, and the host has no idea why and cannot disable it. Oops. That is an oops. Good one, Jonas. I don't know what to say. That's, yeah. Cannot disable it.
So, one of the things about this news, share the Zoom docs that we were looking at earlier that John showed us was my account has Zoom docs turned off globally at right now. I wouldn't expect that button to show up in the share screen if nobody has any docs they can share, but it's there anyways.
So, okay, let's do that again because that was important. So, Frank, you have Zoom docs disabled for that account?
Account-wide. Yep, account-wide for the whole.
But yet you can share a Zoom doc.
Well, I don't know if I can share it, but the menu option is there when I press on screen share.
Because you're a user of this. You're a user
maybe
in this meeting, Frank. Is that why?
I don't know. That's a logical place to start, but after this meeting's over, I'm going to start a new Zoom meeting and see if that button shows up for me or not. But if it is there, that's silly because it's just going to lead to confusion for end users.
Sure is, especially for you. That's a free headache. All right. Again, them not mentioning it, like John was saying in the release notes, and then now Frank making the comment that he's got it disabled. And then right now with the account that he's in, he has the functionality, but we don't know if that's tied to David's PIM or not.
If you let me back in, I'll leave the meeting and I'll see what happens.
Yeah, go for
So
it,
I'll
Frank.
disappear for a minute.
All righty. And we'll wait for Frank to come back and we'll see what that's all about. But yeah, that's interesting. Jonas, this is good that you brought this up and for us to focus on this a little more because the 5.x is interesting. Obviously, I would suggest if that is true, then you would bump them, make sure that your meetings are at least 6.x versions then, especially if they want to use Zoom docs. But the host having a 5.x client. I don't have any machines to even test that anymore, to be honest. So I can't even try to recreate this if I tried. Everything I have is at least 6x. And I think this week I actually went and actually made everything default to 6.4.0 as the lowest. And I'm letting Frank back in, so we'll have an update here momentarily. All righty, Frank. Frank's testing it as we speak, and we'll have an update for us momentarily.
Yeah, it's not there. It's only because of this meeting, I guess. I started my own meeting, and I don't have the ability. I don't see the option.
Interesting.
Which makes way more sense.
It does. So you inherited David's PIM settings.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. And scared Frank for a few minutes, but that's okay. That's all right. That's allowed. But that's all right.
Well, the reason it confused me is I don't have any Zoom docs of my own because we don't have it turned on our account. So
Right.
I was a little surprised to see that it would show up in the menu, but interesting.
Right. Absolutely. So I'm just skimming over the actual other phone updates. The other one that I see here was related to Mitel related units. So unless anybody has specific stuff about that, I'll skip that one. This next one actually might be interesting. This one is related to AI Companion. All right, here we go. All right, so Zoom Phone. So this is AI Companion powered call management and insights panel. Okay. So Zoom Phone. Yes, I love this interface as much as Frank does, which is not. All right. Let me just scroll myself down here again. Sorry. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Zoom Phone users with paid licenses, good, have access to an enhanced AI Companion side panel that delivers contextual insights and intelligent actions to support phone-related tasks and communications. All right, so I'm getting into that. That sounds like AI Companion modified for phone-related stuff. Let's see where we go here. Whether viewing general phone features or specific assets like voicemail and SMS messages, the panel provides intelligent prompts tailored to user needs. For general phone views, users can request preparation assistance for upcoming calls, revisit past call insights, and receive professional communication tips. When reviewing specific assets, the panel supports generating tasks from voicemails, translating SMS threads, okay, and summarizing unread messages. Additional users can identify important missed calls based on organizational hierarchy and communication frequency, extract follow-up tasks from recent conversations, and access consolidated view of all call-related tasks, voicemails, and messages. This functionality is available across desktop, mobile, web clients, and desk phones. All AI-generated transcripts are subject. Oh, there we go. All AI-generated transcripts are subject to admin-defined data retention policies and are deleted alongside their associated call logs. By providing actionable insights and offline support, this release helps users streamline communication workflows and manage phone interactions more effectively. I don't know if many of the Zoom test community are using Zoom Phone as of yet, but I can see where they are. Again, this is the AI Companion push into the Zoom Phone world, and they're making sure that when you're in the Zoom Phone interface, that you'll actually have equivalent to, as you would see at the main panel, where you have your calendar on the right-hand side and you actually have AI Companion on the right, that it's going to be similar, where you actually have the phone related dial pad and such, and then you'll on the actual right side you'll have AI Companion for phone related stuff. John, any other additional stuff there?
No, but if I was using my Zoom phone number for people, then I would have known I got a phone call 10 minutes ago that I missed.
That's right. That's right. And you might have got a quick summary of what the voicemail actually said too. That's not a bad thing. Getting that automated voicemail and having AI actually figure out what the person wants, and especially those spam calls that AI will probably come back and say, there was no data that I can actually take from this call that is a spam call that never has any audio in it. But yeah. Okay, so the other functionalities here are related to contact center. John, was there anything in contact center that I should pop out of here that was important, you think, for everybody?
I don't think so.
No, I think everything is pretty much Again, you would have to have the contact center license so that you actually got these extra features. So many of us don't have that. And also,
I do
John,
like the direction they're moving in. Let's put it that way.
yeah. So if you are familiar with the
If you
industry standards out there when it comes to contact centers, yes, they're starting to get very close in their feature functionality.
Yeah, if you take the first one as an example, the click to call is very useful.
Yeah, so I'll just show quickly what John was talking about there. So that is the general availability for click-to-call API for outbound calling. Agents can initiate outbound calls through a click-to-call API through third-party applications such as CRM systems. So an example would be Salesforce, as an example. If you use Salesforce quite a bit for your CRM-based databasing of clients and such. Upon initiating an outbound call using click to call API based on admin settings, the call can be automatically initiated or agents are prompted with a preview display to confirm before proceeding. And again, this happens a lot in call centers. If you're familiar with a lot of call centers and they have X amount of calls that the call centers have to make. So this is very good that now Zoom has this capability within contact center. Call parameters include the external number, caller ID, and queue name are determined by the API inputs. Previously, admins had to submit a request to Zoom to have this feature enabled. So it's been there, but it's never been there. You know, it's in the back. It's always been in the back end, and they haven't been able to let everybody access it, but it's there now. Was there any others in there, John?
No, it's the only one that caught my eye.
Cool. And there's Revenue Accelerator. I don't know what that one was related to, John. Any on the back end? Revenue Accelerator? Is that?
That's a whole other system, Revenue Accelerator.
Right. And a whole other license too. Yeah.
I thought it was generated by AI Companion on the fly in response to your request for a pay rise, John.
Oh, there's the pay rise. There it is. All right, the pay rise. John will get that pay rise one of these days, Robert. I promise. Okay. Yet to be determined. Just like
joking. My boss is too tight to give me a pay rise.
Oh, yeah. Write that down.
Even though I ask him every morning in the mirror, he still says no.
I know. That's very true. That's so true. All right, we're resolving issues. Way to go, Zoom. All right, we'll go through these quickly. Security enhancements. Hooray! All right, that was a quick one. All right, now we'll go into iOS. So to our iOS fans out there, resolved an issue where Zoom mobile app reminder incorrectly indicated that a meeting had started when it was still 1 hour away. Any on the panel run into that on the iOS land? I have not. I do not have any iOS, so I cannot give any input on that one. Anybody on the YouTube chat and watching us on YouTube, of course, let me know in chat, just like Jonas did. I am checking. Sorry, Jonas, I didn't get to you sooner. But yeah, you definitely brought up a good point there, Jonas. All right, let's continue then. Nobody's seen that one, but somebody obviously has because it got resolved. All right, resolved an issue when incoming SMS, so we're back to SMS again, messages triggered pop-ups and audible alerts during do not disturb status in the Zoom desktop workplace app. And this is our friends in Linux. I haven't received any SMSs, so I cannot comment in my Linux testing. I will give this out to the YouTube audience and let me know in chat if you guys have run into that. I have not. The current version of Linux. Anybody in our panelists? I'm thinking no. Okay, so again, it must have been a small change. Resolved an issue where missed call notifications did not appear on the lock screen when call history was open in Zoom phone. I don't run my phone, my Zoom. In Zoom phone. I don't have Zoom phone. licensing currently. So I can't comment on this one on Android. But if anybody, again, in Zoom, YouTube, if you got any of these that you've run into this, we'd love to know your use case. And are you happy that this got fixed? Of course. All right, next, resolved an issue where missed call notifications did not clear when switching to other tabs. I have noticed, actually, and I'll come back to me here for a sec. I have noticed that the task button will constantly be, even though I have no tasks in there, the task button in my current version of Windows actually will have a red dot saying that there is a task in there, but yet I don't have it. That I have seen. It's been annoying me a bit. Every time I open the actual workplace app, it's got the red dot up there when I see tasks, and I click on it and there's nothing in there. So that usually meant that there was a new task, but that new task button, that I've seen as a problem. So maybe that in this list too. We'll see. But that I have seen. Anybody seen this? The missed call notifications when switching to other tabs? No. All right. No, it is. Back to it. Okay. Resolved an issue when the Alt key remained stuck during screen sharing and remote control sessions. And this was Windows-based only. I've not had this problem. But I'm thinking that is a small use case because it's the Alt key. Alt key remains stuck during screen sharing and remote control sessions. That one confuses me a little bit because the only thing I can think of is that somebody's got a faulty keyboard. Unless they, for whatever reason, you hit the Alt key, and as far as the software is concerned, you never released the Alt key.
The Alt key does the buttons, doesn't it? The Alt key enables and disables the buttons along the bottom.
Yes, and also does the shortcuts.
Yeah.
So I could see where that is a problem, but I don't see it as the keyboard, the Alt key remains stuck. That wording is.
Well, that can mean that every key ends up being the Alt version of every key pressed, which would be a problem.
Right. Right. Okay.
I've just got a quick comment, Mike. I've never noticed this before, but in the chat, all of the timings and all of the dates for the messages have changed to, at my end, at yesterday at a specific time because I've just gone past midnight. I'd never noticed that before.
Have you been in a meeting? Oh, and again, it's based on our time zone, right?
No, it's based on my time zone because it's my time setting. Yeah. So
okay, so the timestamps.
Right. So I'm in tomorrow compared with you, Mike.
Right. Yeah.
But the timestamps have changed, and that's what I'm referring to in the Zoom chat. I'd never noticed that before.
So it actually put in yesterday than the time.
Yeah.
And it was still the time that you got that message.
Yeah, the timing is right. It's just the date has changed to yesterday.
Huh. Oh, you got people scurrying over here, Robert. I think this is something that we haven't seen before. John, thoughts? Possibility?
I'm just worried I'm going to have to stay in here for another hour so I can experience it as well.
There you go. See what you started, Robert? So there you go. So he wants to see yesterday. Yesterday. Okay, no, we're not going down that road. That's called How We Get Discontinued. Okay, and get thrown off YouTube. Anyway, but yeah, that's interesting. I've never had, I'm trying to think if I've been in a meeting. I've been in meetings where my time is changed, I started the meeting with that person before my midnight, but we were never using chat, so I never noticed it. Go figure.
The current chats have, well, John's chat, hello from yesterday, just has the time on it. But all the previous ones say yesterday and then the time, yesterday and then the time.
Right. So if I say hi, Robert, it's giving you
Yeah.
AM.
It just says 0006.
Right. Okay. And you're in, and you're doing international time. It's not doing AM PM. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. So this next one actually is interesting because this one's related to Mac and Production Studio. Okay. Resolved an issue that caused a black screen when resharing slides in Zoom Events Production Studio. I looked to the Mac audience out there on YouTube and in my room. Nobody has seen this in Zoom Production Studio, Zoom Events Production Studio. Okay. That's good that it wasn't that big of a problem, but it obviously, so it was when they said a black screen when resharing slides. Resharing slides. So second time around, sharing slides? Is that what I'm hearing? More than once, sharing the same slides? Yeah. Peter,
It's in Production Studio, so it's
Yeah.
not a share screen. It's just sharing the slides that have been shared.
Yeah, and
Right.
I've played with it, but I've never seen a use case where I would stop sharing it in Production Studio and
and then reshare again.
share again. I just okay.
Yeah,
I'll
but
take their word
obviously
for
it just didn't refresh the content, so they
Yeah.
fixed it. That's good.
Mhm.
And I've seen the next one in the community forums.
All right. John gave the teaser, so here's the answer. All right. Resolved an issue where the Zoom Workplace app crashed with a Zoom is not responding error on startup. Over to you, John.
Yeah, there's been some, not a lot, but there's been a few people that have been stuck in a Zoom of death where they just couldn't launch it and it crashed every time, and they tried reinstalling it and it still just crashed every time. So something
Now,
wouldn't
is that
reset.
was that a cache because of the fact that
We don't
some
know.
sort of app
We
cache?
don't know, but there's a lot of things in Zoom which even when you reinstall you don't get fixed because they're leftover cache bits and bops and things. So you can't expect the average user to be able to have to go into that level of sorting out.
Right.
So I'm glad that Zoom have
Yeah.
done it for them.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that only affected Windows. That did not affect Mac. So that was very specific to that. But yeah. But this next
So
one
what,
yeah, go ahead,
what
Robert.
actually solves that problem? Switching the computer off and switching it back on again?
Robert's hoping it's that simple. John?
No,
No. Okay.
no. There have even been problems because there's a lot of background data that's saved by Zoom. It was even possible to uninstall Zoom and reinstall it and nothing happens. That's why there's this famous clean install Zoom as well to clear up all the junk and reset it all. But again, the average user is not going to want to get involved in that sort of problem, and you've just got to sort it out as an app.
Right. Okay. This next one actually affected all flavors of Zoom. Let's see what it is. Resolved an issue that caused a significant delay when launching the Zoom app from the browser to join a meeting. And this affected Windows, Mac, Linux, both iOSs, both Androids, and Vision OS. Resolved an issue that caused a significant delay when launching the Zoom app from the browser to join a meeting. From the browser. John, in the community, were they talking about that? Or I'm assuming yes. It looks like it's everything.
Not seen a lot, but there was obviously a problem with the browser not connecting properly.
Now, when they say browser, is that
I mean the browser, as in
like
we're all running from the app. But if you join the meeting from the browser, everything gets loaded into the browser and you join the meeting. There must have been a hiccup somewhere in the system where it couldn't get started and there was a delay. Maybe a library wasn't loading or a file wasn't loading or wasn't loading properly or whatever, or taking too long. There was some delay.
Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. So it's basically just that the amount of um, time that it was taking to develop the actual web page as it was bringing in the meeting within the interface, and it was making the interface was slow. Sure. Yeah. I don't use the web interface, so that's why I'm forever in the workplace app of Flavor. Okay, so this next one actually affected iOS users, and it's talking about SimiLive, John. Resolved an issue where SimiLive webinars showed a blank video for participants when audio continued to play, and that is only for our friends in iOS. Very interesting. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard about it. Has the community complained about it, John? I would assume somebody did.
I've not heard, but obviously there was a problem there.
Yeah. Again, this would have to be, this couldn't be a onesie twosie. This would have to be at least a few people before Zoom would actually look at this, right? Then they would have to be able to recreate it too, obviously, too, so that they know how to fix it.
Yeah. But it can't have been complete, otherwise there'd have been a lot more noise about it. So it must be in certain situations this happens issue rather than happens every time.
Right.
Because if you couldn't launch SimiLive on all iOS, that would have been a very noisy complaint.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Sounds like one of those issues that Jonas talked about, where the host is on an older version of Zoom than all of the users. But anyway, that's just pure speculation.
Yeah, again, there's a lot, again, software is not a pretty world of them trying to troubleshoot things. And they do their best to have all kinds of different combinations of testing and such, but you can only test so far. Then all of a sudden it creeps up and all of a sudden usually bites you in one way or another. So this next one is actually for our friends, and it's actually very specific to a version number. Check this out. Resolved an issue when the Zoom Workplace app crashed with a Zoom quit unexpectedly error to our Mac friends after upgrading to version 6.4.5. I would assume that this would be making a bigger roar than it did. So it sounds like it was fairly small because this is the main workplace app. So, John, was there a lot of complaints in the community on that one? Or no?
I didn't see that many.
Okay.
And of course, fix is to upgrade to another version.
Right. Because again, we're 6.4.6, right? I think David did that earlier. Help. Yeah, about 6.4.6.
6.4.10 we're going to be.
Yeah, we're going to be, yeah. But right now I'm in 6.4.6 on Windows. And I think everybody's I'm running 6.4.6 on all my test machines.
Yeah, that is the latest version.
Okay.
I'm still on 6.311.
Robert can't come to any of my meetings because I'm going to force him to 6.4. I did update that this week just to make sure that the people that are having meetings with us are not too far back.
Can't share docs either, can he?
Oh, Robert can't share docs?
Can't share docs.
It's that 5.0 for sure. 5.x. All right. Oh, another Mac one. Yes, here we go. Resolved an issue where local recording stopped immediately after being manually started by the host. One more time. Resolved an issue where local recording, it's not cloud recording, but local recording stopped immediately after being manually started by the host. Very specific. I haven't run into that.
But that actually means that you as the host start a local recording, and that's the only situation when this happened. Yeah?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Very specific.
Won't be all people that had that problem. It'd just be a number of people that had that problem. But cloud recording, recording in general, one of the most dangerous questions to answer in the community forum, because if people have had an event and it's not recorded properly, and unfortunately, out of the thousands and thousands and thousands of recordings that are run all the time, there's going to be the odd one for any reason that might fail. Answering those ones on the forum is it's not a fun thing, because they've run their event. But I always say, if it's important to you, record it at least in two places. You can record it locally and record it in the cloud. And if you don't need the recording in the cloud afterwards, just delete it and it won't go against your allocation of space. But unfortunately, there is always, the odd person that's going to have a problem with the recording, not recording. Sometimes I've got a pretty big suspicion they didn't hit the recording button. They're trying to blame Zoom because of the way they word things. But we won't say exactly who they are. But there is the odd person that does that by mistake and then tries to blame Zoom. I'm just the whole time I'm just amazed. I'm totally amazed how this organization, Zoom, can have so many different versions of its software that look almost identical, and the number of recordings and users on the system, and yet the few number of mistakes that are made, I am in awe of, and have been ever since I got involved with Zoom. I remember back in the old days when the world first started and we got stuck in this world called COVID. And there's poor little Zoom meeting. It's been running for 14 hours on this event I'm running for Toastmasters. And it gets to the point after 14 hours that it takes 5 or 6 seconds for my poor PC to actually take notice of a button I've pressed in Zoom, which scared the bejesus out of me. But the fact is, it still kept going, sending out the content to everybody. And it was that evening that I fell in love with Zoom, and I've never got over it since. I got a tear in my eye now.
Uh-oh.
Stop that.
He's getting all teary. Look out, YouTube. All right.
John,
All right,
I
I
just
got
want to go back to the
problem.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
John, I just want to go back to this recording. I've had it several times. I won't say a lot of times, but several times where people have come to me for assistance with, we've lost the cloud recording. We can't find it anywhere. And I traced this to a very unique situation. And I'm just saying this so that it goes just to share the knowledge. Inexperienced people were logging in as the host on 2 separate machines. Here's the host, here's the co-host. Starts the cloud recording there, and then starts a local recording on the other machine. Now he is the host and co-host and the same person. It knocks the cloud recording off.
And there could be co-hosts and screw it up. I hate co-hosts having the ability to record. In fact, for all my events, I should have added this really, for all my events nowadays, I put automatic cloud recording on. I tick all the boxes, so I get all the recordings, and then I will decide at the end or the next day when it's all being regurgitated, I will then decide which versions I need and download them, and then I just delete, because I don't have a long-term policy of keeping more recordings on the cloud. And don't forget, of course, that when you delete a recording on Zoom, it's still there for 30 days
another month.
If you panic and find you need to get it back.
Yeah.
So I hate the fact that delete that button is there and can be hit by a co-host or a host on another machine who don't realize they can't local record. Yeah, I mean that is probably something I would have liked Zoom to improve, shall we say.
I would like them to just give a notification. Are you sure you want to do this? Because when you do this, you're going to kill the cloud recording, and we're going to inform the host about it.
Yeah, and the infamous, are you really sure? That'd be nice to have the, are you really sure button too?
Listen, guys, it's getting late at my end, so I'm going to have to leave just now, but I'd like to see Jack Sparrow's version. I know he has Black Pearl in the background with the empty bottles of his Blackmagic camera that he's brought today.
Oh, we're talking about Pete?
Oh, who else can be Jack Sparrow with the pirate ship and the empty bottles in the background?
You're talking about this.
Whoa! Doesn't even fit on the screen.
All I got for Christmas is an Ozbot.
Wow. So it's SDI on the back.
It's SDI. It's got both reference in and obviously SDI out. It's got Ethernet out. It's got a USB out, which allows you to connect to an external USB drive. You know, the infamous T5s, if you will, Samsung T5s. It's got this screen on the top. Try to do this without dropping it. It's got a
Oh my goodness. Fancy.
but it's actually USB attached. It's got its own USB port that runs
It's
up to
locked, isn't it? It's lockable as well, so it doesn't fall off.
Yeah, it's nice. I
that?
see that the USB is screwed in.
Yes, it's got locking screws. And that came with it. That came with it. So, and I have to admit, the reason I invested in this was I wanted an upgrade, and I already had Canon glass. Right. I wanted a good video camera, and I already had all the Canon glass EF mount. And this version of the Pixel 6K supports an EF mount. Simple as that. The investment in glass that I've had over the years is more than the investment in the camera. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
And they'll be adding autofocus to that one, won't they?
It has autofocus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, it's interesting because all the bits and pieces are separate that you add on. It's a box camera, so the box itself has all sorts of mount points on it. If I can see, you know, screws. The handle mounts separately. The video monitor, the external monitor, mounts separately. You can get, instead of a monitor, you can get a regular eyepiece monitor, which I hate. I hate those things with a passion. But it works.
And it has all the mounts that you need to mount the additional equipment. You don't need any rigs or anything to do that, do you?
No, it's got, God knows how many. It's got a combination of both. They call them Ursa mounts, which just tells me they're 3/8 inch instead of quarter 20s. They're 3-inch. So it's got a series of those. It's got a bunch of quarter 20s. The only thing I did specifically was I went to Small Rig and bought this thing on the bottom, which I mounted to the camera, because then I could put rails on it, because I've got one long lens that really, you know, I either have my hand on the lens all the time or I'm supporting it on rails, right? It's as simple as that, right? Right. But for the short lens, I don't need the rails. It's got built-in XLR input, and it's got what I'm trying to say, 3.5 millimeter audio input and audio output too, so you can listen to the output on a set of small in-ear buds if you want.
Nice. Nice. Cool. Thank you very much, Peter. And
You're welcome.
I'm going to leave you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, my dog is actually getting to the point where he's deciding he wants to go out too. So
I thought you were going to say that he wants to use the black magic camera as well.
no, he's now, you know, as I say, I ignore my dog at my carpet's peril.
Okay. And Mike, I hope you got the file I sent you in the chat.
The file you sent me in chat.
Yes. It was
Yesterday.
yesterday at 23:06.
Ah,
Right.
all right. Let's see what
Yeah.
you brought me. All right. Is that a hint, Robert? I should use it at the end?
Use
All
it
right.
at the end, or you can use it in the beginning, or you can use it during. You can play it twice, whatever you want.
Ah, all right. Let's do this. Let's play it now before Robert disappears on us. Let's see what we got here.
We've got to get Frank on board first.
Oh, gotta get Frank on board. Oh, no, not computer. I guess I would do that. Should I be doing that as computer audio? No, I should be doing that as video file still. Okay, there we go. And share audio. Okay. Do. Oh, no, I can't do that way because it's looking specifically for an MP4 to be shared. Can I do it this way? I should be able to do it as computer audio then. Let's see. Nope, that is sharing my audio itself. That's a no. All right. Robert's giving me a quiz. This is good. All right. So let's see how we can share this then.
I actually downloaded it as an MP3 file, so I don't know why it's MP4.
No, you're right. It is an MP3, but unfortunately, to share it, I'm just trying to find the right.
You have an application that will play MP3s? Share that application.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that way then. All right, we'll do VLC. Actually, you know what? I will do Media Player Classic because usually that does it a lot nicer. There we go.
Welcome to
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, all right. There we go. So now I should be able to do it. There we go. Wish me luck, gang. We'll see how we do here now. Share screen. I should be able to share an app. Where are you at? There you are. All right. Do we see it? Did I?
Yep, it's looking good.
All right. So let me just, I'm going to do one more thing because I did not double check to make sure that I had the audio on for that. I did not. Ah, ha, ha. All right. One more time. So you saw that and it's good. All right, Robert, we got the funky picture in there too already. So let's go.
Welcome to Zoom Tech. Everybody, we're on there, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun and learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we got tips and tricks, we'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck.
Oh, we needed David at the end there to do his guitar solo.
Yeah.
Is that what you were looking for, Mike? You and Frank?
Absolutely. Way to go,
Oh,
Rob.
John was there as well. But I've just put it in, asked Suno to give it in the blues like B.B. King with a southern Mississippi accent. So that's the twist.
Excellent.
That's
Good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I will add that to the kitty.
and I deleted the summary at the end, so that didn't come up in the lyrics.
Cool. Cool. Absolutely. So yes, I will be playing this. I will be playing when we sign off. I will actually be playing. Oh, look out! John has got fireworks going on here. All right.
Good. So thanks very much. Take care, guys. Bye.
Cool, Robert. Bye.
Thanks, Robert.
So that was very, very cool. All right. So what else do we? Oh, and Pete left us as well. Okay, cool. All right, John. So I know for us Canucks, it is our official long weekend. So it is Victoria Day weekend this weekend. So we'll be enjoying a bit of time and having a holiday on Monday. So that's great. So if there's anybody left on watching us on YouTube, I know there's still a few of us watching. So if you have any quick questions for us before we wrap up, absolutely. And that'll be the last questions we'll be taking. So let us know quickly in YouTube chat before we wrap up for this week's show.
Oh, I'm going to end this show rather sad now.
Uh-oh. We're not ending it on a sad note. What's so
Well,
sad?
I'm sad.
Why are you sad?
Oh, I
Did you
got
not get a
lost,
feature
Bob.
that John? You didn't get a feature this week from Zoom, did you?
I've just spent $1,000 on an Ozbot, and I'd
Uh-oh.
much rather have a Prixer 6.
Uh-oh. Oh, you liked what
Yeah.
people were showing you. But again, you've got to understand. The lens itself was probably about 3 Ozbots.
Yeah, well, I don't have any Canon lenses, so it would cost me a lot more to invest in one of those than it cost him. So that was fortunate.
Yeah.
But there is
No,
one
that-
interesting thing about the new Ozbot, which I have read about, haven't tried yet because I haven't even opened the box because it came yesterday and I haven't opened the box yet.
Uh-oh.
That is, they have got a plug-in for virtual reality.
Or virtual reality. Yes. Is this the model that had the SDI on it?
Yeah.
On NAB? Okay. Yeah, they were showing that off quite a bit if anybody was at NAB. So this is the one that the one that they had in their booth that you might have seen a lot of the influencers on YouTube showing off when they went to the Ozbot booth. They specifically had a lady actually walking around and such, and it was actually following her and everything as she was doing virtual reality in the corner of the booth, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So if you think of how many hundreds of dollars they charge for putting those little devices on cameras, so when you move the camera, it will track back into the virtual reality world. The fact this is built in is really neat.
Right. Right. So again, it is HDMI, USB, SDI, John?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Does all of them.
Does all 3. Yeah. Yeah, this is Ozbot's, as many have said, this is Ozbot's first getting into the, a lot of people will call it real PTZ camera world now, as compared to being just a webcam. So again, is this version that John ended up getting more compatible to an ATEM and you don't need a computer? Yes. And NDI built in, John? Something's telling me maybe.
I was just trying to pull up the spec sheet. Where is it? Osbot Tail 2. There it is. There we are.
All right.
4K 60, 1080 at 120.
Yeah.
12 times optical, 12 times optical lens, 5 times optical zoom, 12 times hybrid zoom, NDI. I bought the one which gave me the NDI license as well. So I've got NDI, SDI, HDMI, Ethernet for the NDI, and it will go for USB as well.
Yeah. Just a reminder for your sake, John, is that the SDI, unless the specs are incorrect, if it says any reference to 3G SDI, you will not be able to get 4K out of the camera through SDI. It will be maxed out at 1080p 60.
Yeah, well, 1080 is all I'm going to ever use it for.
Right.
But it has got tracking, and the tracking is built in, independent of the machine it's on.
Yeah. And again,
unlike the Insta, which requires the software to be running on the machine, this doesn't.
Right.
So that means if you're not connecting it directly to a PC, you still got the tracking.
Right. Yeah. You don't need any physical assistance from the PC. It's not using any resources of the PC. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's still got a small glass, and it's still got a small detector. It's not proper production. But if you're in a small office space and you want to be able to move around and have something tracking you, then it's going to be certainly good enough.
Right. Yeah. And John makes a very important point there because of the fact of the optical zoom capabilities of the lens. So again, because it's only what, John? 12? 10? X optical?
It's it'll do 5 plus 12. Five optical. And it's only
5X.
it's only a 1.5 inch CMOS, so it's not very big. It's not a very big sensor. But
Right.
it's still better than a phone. And if you think about it, £1,000, $1,000, if you bought an iPhone to do this, an iPhone would cost you the same amount of money. So,
right. Yeah, agreed. It is the next step up, but it's still them trying to get closer to the real PTZ camera stuff.
Yeah.
And again, you would not want to have, even in a normal boardroom, anything smaller than a 12X optical and lens to support it, of course. But again, in the production world, if you're having something that is a camera that would be similar to what we saw from Pete just a few minutes ago, then you would definitely want to be able to have a 20X, if not 30X optical zoom built into the actual camera itself, be it PTZ, be it whatever, to make sure that, that camera at the back of the room will actually get close enough to the person, depending on your event, wherever you're the person speaking on stage, or if it's behind podium or whatever, to make sure that you're able to do that, because with only having that short of a distance, you really can't frame the video well. But it definitely is a step up where it's not a webcam anymore. So you could use it for production use, but John is correct. Make sure that it's not a very large room. And that's why even when they were in the Ozbot booth, you can tell that where she was and where the background was not that far away from the actual lens itself. Because if she did, then all of a sudden she wouldn't be framed well in the actual video portion that they were showing at the booth.
But for content creators, this is going to really challenge them because it's going to be much more than they've ever had before. So it's nice and powerful. And I think it will challenge them to think of ways of using. And I think products like this will just open up the market, because once people realize what they can do with, you know, a couple of these, then moving up to the next level. Okay, it's a big jump, but moving up to the next level is a lot easier than it was when you could just have a, you know, when we just, going from webcam to a £1,000 piece of, you know, black magic camera or something like that, is which is fixed and can't do anything. That was one big jump. Now this is a better jump, because you can take this, you can use it, you can do a lot of things that you couldn't have imagined to have done before for this sort of price range. And then you'll start to think about all the other clever things you can do. As you say, then you start thinking about bigger venues, and then you need the bigger cameras, but that's fine because it brings you into the world. That's great. I think it's a good product for people to try and play big league type productions without spending all the money and going into the big league. So I think it's a good stepping stone. That's why.
Right.
Frankly, why I've got it as much to show other people what's possible than to use it myself, although I will use it myself. But I'm usually no more than a meter away from my cameras. So the inadequacies of this are never going to show up on my productions, because I'm never that far away from the camera to hit the limitations.
Exactly. And this is why John was very strategic, and when he ended up getting it for himself, that you could easily have 2 or 3 of these and easily do a video podcast. This would be very easily, you know, this would be better than doing an Ozbot, the regular Ozbot. This is better in the regards of now you could actually plug it into your, you know, your ATEM, your Rode Videocaster Pro. I think I remember that correctly. Video switcher. It would, you know, it's giving you that, it's getting you away from a webcam being USB, and it's getting you into that, having that physical connection and also NDI connection, should you want to use that to bring it into vMix or Ecamm or Mimo Live, then you could actually bring the NDI feed as well in to that. But again, you have to make sure you got your audio and video in sync, which we did have in the beginning of YouTube today, which was very interesting. But it seemed to fix itself as things went along, which was very strange. But David did have problems again for everybody on YouTube. David did have problems in the beginning. That's why we started a little late, was because the Zoom app did not work for him again. And we were actually using the custom live streaming service built into Zoom without using the Zoom live streaming app. All right. The YouTube audience is fairly quiet with us, John. So let's do the actual wrap up tune, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll put this one in the books, as they say. All right. Even though Robert gave us the blues, I'm going to have us go out with one of our standards that we usually use here every week on the Zoom Test Kitchen.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen, where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From all
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to let YouTube know how much you like our content. Don't forget we're here every Friday from 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And next week, David will be showing us again what we'll be doing in the Zoom Test Kitchen. See everyone next week for another rendition of the Zoom